Let's talk about camp. Talk about the mood of the team itself. What was the flavor like?
I mean, everyone's excited to finally start, football again. I mean, we've been going all summer, but once you get into the pads, we start hitting. That's when, everyone starts flying around. You can really see it coming together because we got mostly young team, but guys that have been on varsity for a while now, really trying to prove themselves in these last few years.
All right, let's talk. Give us the fans a little insight on what it might look like this year. What's the Raider offense going to look like? What's the defense going to look like? What's this team going to be like?
I think we're going more like smash mouth, run the ball. We got a really good line, solid line. Running backs, Carroll, Anthony, Ross, they're going to be flying around. Hopefully we open up some big holes for them, see them in the end zone a lot. And defensively, we've been solid for years. So we got a lot of guys coming back, and I think it would be tough for teams, make them not want to play us.
All right, expectations. What's the expectation this team has for this season?
Personally, I don't want to lose another game, and I said that last year. And unfortunately, my season got cut short. But, I think we're looking to do something that's never been done before here. So, we got to stay focused on that, take it week by week, practice by practice, and eventually, when we get to that point, we can't let it go to waste.
All right, week 0 is here upon us. The question we ask every Raider that we interview, it's the last question we always ask. You being a senior, one of the captains on this team, what does it mean to you going into your senior year as a captain of this team to wear the red and black?
Yeah, it's an honor. From the time I started playing football, I always came to these varsity games, hoping someday to be on that field. And being on the field is just, there's really nothing like it. That Gillette Field, that atmosphere, all those fans there rooting for us, just something you want to cherish for the rest of your life. And I'm going to remember it forever, tell my kids stories about it. So it's great.
Well, we want to thank you for being here. Get ready for week 0. Get ready for the season, and go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
Ivan Figueroa and Logan Morris, 2 of the 5 senior captains of this Raiders football squad, joining Tom Faggione here on our countdown to kickoff, where we are 16 minutes away from Port and Monticello. We're going to send it back to the studio for a quick commercial break. When we get back, we'll have our Withero Law out-of-town scoreboard, our PJYFL report, and then you'll hear from more captains later on in the pregame. This is Port Jervis High School football on WDLC. It's all presented by ADAC.
Hi everyone, this is David Bavoso from Bavoso & Plotsky, your neighborhood law firm. We're excited to see you back and ready for another great season. Bavoso & Plotsky continues to be here, ready to support the community and to assist with the legal needs of those that call this community home. Ranging from real estate to criminal law, family law to wills, trusts, and estates, we have the experience and the know-how to help you. If you should ever need us, please don't hesitate to call or email. Thank you and enjoy the game.
For more information on Bavoso & Plotsky, go to portservicelawyers.com.
The Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County is a nonprofit organization dedicated to addressing the use of alcohol and other drugs by providing prevention education at schools and in the community. ADAC offers support services for individuals and families experiencing the negative effects of substance use. Substance use disorder knows no barriers. It could impact anyone, but it can be prevented through community support, education, and communication. If you or someone you know needs help, please reach out. Learn more by visiting adacinfo.com.
We're going back to the field for more Port Jervis football, only on WDLC Country.
Welcome back to the countdown to kickoff. 15 minutes away from Port and Monticello. It's time now to take a look at the Withero Law out-of-town scoreboard for Week 0. Sort of a light schedule. Only 4 other games on Friday night with Port and Monticello. Warwick and Binghamton in Warwick tonight. Our brother in broadcasting, Jack George, will be calling that game. Goshen hosting Mahopac at 7 o'clock tonight. Our Lady of Lourdes welcomes Spackenkill, and FDR travels across the river to John Jay out of Section 1. On the other river that we are nearby, the only river we're nearby, we're not really anywhere near the Hudson, but Delaware Valley is playing their home opener tonight in Milford against Harrisburg. That's on our sister station, Light 106.9, WYNY. Jake and the Judge, the Honorable Craig Brown on the air, Clark Eaton running our live video stream of that broadcast. Tomorrow afternoon, Cornwall is up in the Albany area to take on Colony. At 1 o'clock, Liberty plays at Highland. Saugerties welcomes Marlborough, and Red Hook visits Beacon. Monroe Woodbury will take on Section 1's North Rockland. That game is also at 1 o'clock, and so is Kingston's road trip to Cardinal Spellman. Talk about a week 0 out-of-towner. Washingtonville will visit Poughkeepsie at 2 o'clock. O'Neill, this game is of high interest to the Wizard, Gavin Burt, because O'Neill is on the road in the Capital Region to take on Ravenna, Coyman, Selkirk. It's going to be a wild night, early night, but a wild night at the Ravenna Grange there for the defending Class C state champion O'Neill Raiders visiting RCS. And then at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, New Paltz will play at Wallkill. It is opening weekend for the Port Jervis Youth Football League this weekend. Sunday, Harriet Space Park, opening ceremonies, and then a triple header of youth football action. Make sure you come out. I'm especially excited. My daughter Natalie will be cheering for the D2 PJYFL squad. They are the headliner of this triple header. It starts with the Mighty Mites at 9:30. D1 plays at 11, and then D2 at 1 p.m. They all take on Goshen. It is the season opener, home opener, a big opening day Sunday at Harriet Space Park for the Port Jervis Youth Football League. Tommy, I know you're going to be there. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in our pregame. Right now, we're going to send it back to the studio, and when we get back, we'll hear from more senior captains. Jaron Rodriguez, Chris Hicks, and Ryan Ross yet to be heard from. That's coming your way next here on the Countdown to Kickoff. Port Jervis Football live on Country 95.3 and 107.7 WDLC, presented by the Alcoholism and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
Neversink Lumber. We're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore at Neversink Lumber, 95 Jersey Avenue, Port Jervis, or online at neversinklumber.net.
After 9 years as an assistant district attorney, Matt Witherow returned to his hometown to serve the community he grew up in. Now located at 150 East Main Street, Matt Witherow is licensed in New York and Pennsylvania to help you navigate legal matters including real estate transactions, personal injury, wills, traffic matters, and foreclosure assistance. Count on the law office of Matthew D. Witherow to guide you like a neighbor would. Call for a free consultation, 856-5900 for the law office of Matthew D. Witherow. Online at port-jervis-law.com.
The clock is ticking and the payments are busting. Milford Chrysler Sales is giving you 72 hours to save like never before. During the Payment Busters 72-hour sales event, you can lower your payments, lower your financing, and restart your warranty. Hurry, you've only got 72 hours. Get to Milford Chrysler Sales on Route 6 in Milford because the clock is ticking. Online at milfordchryslersales.com. Limited time offer with approved credit. See dealer for complete details.
Who are you going to believe? The business who paid for this ad or the customers who paid for their product? Because this is what people say about Masters Pest Control.
Lucy wrote, "As always, your company has exceeded my expectation of your service. Technician was professional with an extra touch of kindness and caring. I'm in real estate and praise your company when pest control comes up. Thank you."
Visit masterspestcontrol.com today and get those bugs out tomorrow.
Joining us right now is Senior Captain Ryan Ross of the Raiders. Ryan, season week 0 is upon us. It's been a long road to get here. Let's talk a little bit about your career and how you got to where you are today. Talk a little bit about last season.
Yeah, last season was big for me. It's my second season on varsity, my biggest season, so I'm hoping to have a good season this year, even better than last year. But, I just hope the guys can get together and we can do something special. That's really all it's about to me. I want a team. I want a good team. I want to go as far as I can possibly go. It's my senior year, and that's it, man. I just want to take it as far as I can. Just have the best time.
Now, to achieve high achievement, sometimes you got to go through some adversity. Let's talk a little bit about the adversity that you faced in the last 12 months.
Yeah, in November, I tore my ACL, and I had surgery in December. So it's been a long road for me, about 9 months of recovery, time away from things I love to do. I missed my whole wrestling season, and I've been thinking about this for 9 months. It's just gets me excited just talking about it because it's been a tough time. I missed a lot of stuff, and I'm just glad to be back. In my senior year.
Now, surgery is one thing. Rehab is a totally different thing. Talk a little bit about some of the rehab and the work that you had to go through.
Yeah, so I was doing PT 3 to 4 times a week. My parents, thank you to them. They were taking me to PT, paying for my PT, you know, they were a big help. Thank you for the coaches. The coaches reached out to me all the time, checked in on me. You know, I couldn't have done it without any of these people. But it means so much to me that this whole town has reached out to me. People all over the place have reached out to me about my knee. It's just a big thing for me. It's helped me push my way through and where I need to go.
Now, we talk about the knee, talk about the offseason. We're ending training camp. We're getting into week 0 now. How has the knee felt? How have you felt during these last couple of weeks?
The knee feels great right now. I mean, I'm practicing with a knee sleeve. You know, my doctor said no brace. So I think the team feels good. I mean, a lot of the guys are hustling around, which I love to see. I love to see the work ethic from the guys. So it's been pretty electric. The camp was good. I mean, I don't think we really had any bad days. You guys fly around, guys are hitting, guys are excited to be there, and that's really all that matters. If you're excited to be there, that's what matters.
Now, going into week 0, you know, we're talking about you and the offseason, the knee. Anything going to leave you? Are you hesitant in any way? And any moves left, right, up, or down?
No, this is it. This is my last ride, so I'm giving it all I got. I'm going to die on that field if I have to.
Well, we're not rooting for that at all.
No, I know,
but let's talk about it. You're a senior. You've been named captain, one of the multi-captains, I guess. Talk a little bit about the responsibility as a senior and a captain leading this team.
Yeah, we got a lot of young guys. It's a smaller team this year. We have a lot of JV guys that we're trying to mentor, bring them into the fold and teach them the way of the culture and really just get them ready because they're just going to be big shoes to fill when we leave and maybe even this year if guys start to go down. You know, we have small numbers, so those guys are going to need to step up. And that's what we've tried to do all training camp and throughout this last week is just kind of push these guys to get ready for, who knows, they could be varsity players here. A lot of young guys that could be on varsity as soon as they know it, and they could get pulled up.
Absolutely. Now we talk a lot about offense, and offense is about sequencing and plays and play development and a lot of practice. Defense, a little bit different than offense. I mean, you're the king of defense. Talk a little bit about what does it take in the training camp and in week 0? What does it take to get the defense ready? Does it take as much work as the offense?
I would say it's equal. You know, I would say that in past years we haven't focused as much on defense. You know, our defense has always been strong. We've always had a very strong defense. But I think when we focus on defense, it helps our offense as well because we have guys that will play that defensive ball and help our offensive starters get better. You know what I mean? So that's been good. You know, we've been working our defense a lot more indie work. So, I mean, I think our defense is going to be good again this year. Our offense is firing. They're always firing. But I like our defense. I'm confident in the guys that are surrounding me on the ball field, and I think it's going to be good.
All right, opposition now. Opposition team researching our defense. One jersey number they're going to have to look out for. What number is that?
I don't know, man. I'm not going to be cocky, but I'm going to be out there. 34 is going to be out there on that field, man. I'm telling you.
Speaking of 34, speaking of the jersey, the last question we always ask, especially our seniors, you're going into your senior year. This is week 0. This is it for you as a senior here in the high school and on the football field. What does it mean for you to wear the red and black?
For me, it's always been a dream to play here. You know, I didn't grow up here. Grew up a little bit up the mountain in Eldred. And I moved here when I was 7th grade just to play football. Like, that was my main thing. I wanted to play football here. I can remember standing on that field, watching those guys play. I always felt like it was my dream and my destiny to play here on this field. And I feel like when I leave here, I want to be remembered as one of the greats to play here. That's what it means to me, and I want these guys that are coming up to look up to me and say, I want to be like him one day. I want them to play like me and play the way that I know they all can. I trust every single one of these guys with my life, and I'm ready. I'm ready for this game.
Well, we're excited for your senior season, and we're going to be rooting all the way. Thanks so much, Ryan Ross.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, speaking of Ryan Ross, we got a shout-out from Grandma and Grandpa K. They are on their boat crabbing in Oregon and listening to the game. They say, go Port, and they give a big shout-out to their grandson, Ryan. Thank you guys for tuning in all the way from Oregon. We are about 3 minutes away from kickoff here at Gwinnett Field, so we will hear from Jaron Rodriguez and Chris Hicks later on in the broadcast. We're going to send it back to the studio for one last commercial break. When we come back, it's kickoff, Port Jervis and Monticello, and it's going to be live right here on WDLC, presented by ADAC.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back.
Together, we can support the small businesses that are dreaming big. Together, we can help families spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before. Learn more about M&T's commitment to the people, businesses, and community organizations we serve at mtb.com/togetherwecan or stop by any local M&T Bank branch. Member FDIC.
Uh-oh, is it an allergy or a cold? There's only one way to know for sure. Port Jervis native Dr. Sarah Little of Little Pediatrics is here to help your child get back outside playing in no time. Parents need a pediatrician they know and trust. Little Pediatrics is open Monday through Saturday. To schedule an appointment, call 845-672-3995. Little Pediatrics, Orchard Street, Port Jervis. Don't forget to like Little Pediatrics on Facebook, too.
September is National Recovery Month. ADAC's Justice Involved Peer provides support to individuals experiencing negative legal consequences due to their substance use. The Justice Involved Peer will help navigate the justice system and support recovery at the same time. They help with establishing recovery support in the community, job readiness skills, and healthy coping skills. The Justice Involved Peer works with individuals one-on-one and in weekly support groups. For more information, visit adacinfo.com.
WDLC Port Jervis. It's Raiders football right here on WDLC Country.
We are live at Gwinnett Field, and the longest coin toss of all time just wrapped up. Port Jervis won the toss. They've deferred to the second half, and we are just moments away from kickoff, but I believe we are about to hear the national anthem, so we'll remind you that you're listening to Port Jervis Monticello. We'll tell you that coming up next is the Bavoso and Plotsky Keys to the Game. Tom Faggione and Ethan McElroy will join me for that. But we'll send it back to the studio right now to hear a couple more words from the folks, the businesses who are making tonight's broadcast possible. It's Raider football live on WDLC, and it's all presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
A time of loss is a time for families to gather together for strength and comfort.
It was a sudden loss for all of us.
Fortunately, we had each other.
You have us as well. With a range of choices and services available, we've been helping families through their time of loss for generations. Gray Parker Funeral Home, our family serving yours since 1924.
Hey, do you need a ride? Dial 845-856-3544 for Bucky's Taxi. They serve the entire tri-state area with local and long-distance taxi service. Now, whether you just need a ride to work or maybe your family needs a lift to the airport, Bucky's Taxi can get you where you need to go. Bucky's Taxi takes great pride in their transportation service. That's why they keep their cars clean and their drivers safe. The next time you need to be somewhere, call Bucky's Taxi, 845-856-3544.
You got some projects planned for your house?
Oh, yeah.
You got time to do them? Yeah. You need to call Brace Landscaping. They do all kinds of landscaping and property maintenance, masonry work, fence installs, and more. This winter, they'll be offering snow removal, too. Don't put off those projects. Just hire a pro. Call Brace Landscaping, 845-253-4440. Find them on Facebook at Brace Landscaping.
Hi, everyone. This is David Bavoso from Bavoso and Plotsky, your neighborhood law firm. We're excited to see you back and ready for another great season. Bavoso and Plotsky continues to be here, ready to support the community and to assist with the legal needs of those that call this community home. Ranging from real estate to criminal law, family law to wills, trusts, and estates, we have the experience and the know-how to help you. If you should ever need us, please don't hesitate to call or email. Thank you and enjoy the game.
For more information on Bavoso and Plotsky, go to portjervislawyers.com. After 9 years as an assistant district attorney, Matt Witherow returned to his hometown to serve the community he grew up in. Now located at 150 East Main Street, Matt Witherow is licensed in New York and Pennsylvania to help you navigate legal matters including real estate transactions, personal injury, wills, traffic matters, and foreclosure assistance. Count on the law office of Matthew D. Witherow to guide you like a neighbor would. Call for a free consultation, 856-5900 for the law office of Matthew D. Witherow. Online at port-jervis.com.
You're listening to Port Jervis football only on WDLC Country.
All right, welcome back. We're ready for kickoff here at Gwinnett Field, which means it's time for the Bavoso and Plotsky keys to the game. And joining me now, to my left, Tom Faggione, to my right, Ethan McElroy. Gentlemen, what do we think? We ready for football or what?
Age before beauty. Tom Faggione here. I'm going to go with key number one is, hey, it's a new season. Raiders have a new look this year. Some new uniforms. Kevin's going to talk about that in the first quarter. But also, new look offense. I think you're going to see more diversification from the Raiders on the ground. A little bit more running game, opening up the passing game. And on defense, guys, in new positions, but the same old smash mouth football. That's key number one to tonight's game. Ethan's got 2 and 3.
Thanks, Tom. All right, so today, Port Jervis coming into this game, they haven't played Monticello in a while, so it's a new territory for Port Jervis this year. But key two is establish your run game. Port Jervis needs to establish that before they even think about opening up in the air. Logan Morris does have an arm, but you can't show that off unless you establish your run game. Number two, the defense needs to watch the misdirection with the lefty quarterback coming from Monticello. I don't think Port has ever faced a lefty quarterback as versatile as the Monticello quarterback.
All right, we're ready for kickoff here at Gwinnett Field. And with the ball lined up, it'll be Carol Dolshin to kick it away for the Raiders. Port will kick it left to right. Home black jerseys, a little bit spruced up this year. It's a short kick fielded at the 21, brought across the 25 into the 30. Near side 35 to the 40. And at the 45 midfield, the returners loose 30, 20, 10, and it's an opening kickoff touchdown for Monticello's Rafael Lisiaga. A huge block at about the Monticello 35-yard line sent Lisiaga to the near sideline where he found a lane and took it all the way. 79 yards on that kick return for Lisiaga, and it is Monticello who strikes first with a 79-yard touchdown kickoff return to go up 6-0 with the extra point pending.
Wow, a lot of talk this week between the two teams. The action on the field spoke for itself on that play as Lisiaga just took it from the 21 up the left side, and he was not going to be denied. Key blocks downfield, led Monticello into the end zone.
And he will try to kick the extra point himself and get all 6, or all 7, I should say, is what he's going for here, Lisiaga. Snap the hold, the kick is blocked. Port Jervis blocks the kick, and so the score will be 6-0 Monticello. Shocking opening to the 2023 Port Jervis High School football season. It continues after this here on WDLC, presented by ADAC.
Who are you going to believe? The business who paid for this ad or the customers who paid for their product? Because this is what people say about Masters Pest Control.
We have been customers for years and are always impressed with the level of fast service and quality care received. A+++ team. Can't recommend them enough. I called regarding a very active hornet's nest in the yard, and they took care of it within 30 minutes. Truly appreciate this company and their amazing staff.
Call Masters Pest Control today to receive quality service.
Let's get back to Port Jervis football right here on WDLC Country.
All right, 6-0 Monticello, a stunning start to this football game and this football season for the Port Jervis defense and special teams unit. An opening kickoff return for a touchdown, 79 yards for Rafael Lisiaga. And if Monticello fans are listening and we mispronounce anybody's name, we apologize. Monticello will now kick it back to Port. After just one play in this game, Port's offense will get on the field, and it'll be Lisiaga kicking away right to left. Monticello in the road white jerseys, royal blue numerals, outlined in white and blue, blue pants. They have white helmets with a blue stripe down the middle. Lisiaga's kick is very short, fielded at the 39-yard line, brought to the 45. Across midfield on the far side, and it's Ivan Figueroa up on the front part of the kick.
Remember, Ivan has to wear 2 jerseys on the
That's
football
what it is.
field.
56 is Ivan, right?
Yep, so Ivan takes that ball. Kevin, where did he catch that at?
I had it at the 41.
Okay, absolutely.
Or was it?
Yeah, we'll give it. It was at the Port 41. The ball will be set at the Monticello 46.
My goodness. So our first quarter presented tonight by Masters Pest Control. And Port Jervis will take their first snap of the 2023 season in enemy territory at the Monticello 46-yard line. The Raiders go left to right. Logan Morris out of the shotgun, flanked on both sides by backs. And they have a receiver split to each side. Now Anthony Theodore goes in motion. Carroll Dolshin steamrolls a defensive player, but a flag stops this play before it can start, and it'll be Port flag for a false start. Now, do you think, that they calling that on Anthony for moving the way he moved, or did somebody up front move?
It would have to be someone up front, because Anthony's allowed to make that motion unless he's only allowed to make that motion unless Maddox is staying still and off the line. If Maddox is on the line, he cannot do that motion.
All right, so Port will be back in their own territory now at their own 49. The black jerseys that you've been used to seeing over the past 3 years are now trimmed with red and white stripes on the shoulders. The helmets have that interlocking PJ, but now they have a white stripe down the middle with red on either side of that stripe. Theodore again goes in motion, and then again there's a false start flag. Everybody was moving on that one. So Port will go back to their own 44, and it'll be a 1st and 20. An auspicious start for the Raiders. We knew that the offense would look different, Tommy. Calvin Cruz is gone. Jacob Balmos is gone. Tyler Howard is gone. Those are 3 big targets that Logan Morris lost to graduation. There's plenty of capable kids on this roster, but it's going to look different.
Well, Port came in very confident, and their confidence has been shaken to the core on 5 plays so far tonight.
All right, so we'll do it again. First down. The Raiders need 20 now for a fresh set, and they're going to give it to Theodore. Theodore is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Excellent pursuit for Monticello. Julio Santiago with the tackle for the Panthers. And they'll be back to the Port Jervis 43-yard line. A loss of 1 on the first actual play from scrimmage.
Good surge on that defense by Monticello in the backfield of the Raiders. Theodore tried to get to the line of scrimmage, but was 1 yard short.
I don't know if you guys picked up on Port just pulled their right guard and right tackle on that play. So that left that middle wide open for another linebacker.
Raiders will stay in the same set. It'll be a throw into the backfield to Theodore in space. Anthony's got it across the 50, and he's tripped up, stretches out to the Monticello 45-yard line. Port Jervis trying to use their athleticism to their advantage there. It's a swing pass. Was it a lateral,
That was
Tommy?
a lateral. It was behind the line. It was thrown behind. So it'll be a second carry for Theodore. This time he gets it into Monticello territory. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
A gain of 11 sets up Port Jervis with a
3rd and 10.
Yep.
So Port Jervis has to just calm down, sequence their plays. You need to get the first down here.
And my math is all over the place. 11:03 to go, 6-0 Monticello. Morris calls for it, gives it to Dolshin. Dolshin off left tackle, big hole, 35-30, 25-20, 15. Dolshin carrying a tackler down to the 5-yard line. Strength and speed on display for the junior Carroll Dolshin, and the Raiders have a 1st and goal to go.
Ethan, you're a big guy. You played linebacker not too long ago. 6'3", 242, Dolshin. How do you tackle a guy like that?
You got to hit him low, man. You got to go for those ankles. But I mean, I don't see Monticello even trying. 2 kids you're seeing trying to tackle him straight up. That's not going to happen with that big boy.
That's a large man right there.
Jaron Rodriguez split out to the near side, bunched up on the far side, and a receiver set for the Raiders is Josiah Welch. A bobbled snap. Morris going to keep it himself. Morris to the corner, and he's in for a touchdown. Port Jervis touchdown with 10:37 to go here in the first quarter, and the Raiders have evened things up with Monticello at 6.
Yeah, that play right there, Kev, that was a botched play. It looked like they were trying to go to the right side to either Theodore or Rodriguez, but Logan, it looks like he just bobbled it a little bit and just took off with it left.
A great observation. Not only that, what did Monticello's defense do? They saw Port Jervis pushing to the Port right, so Monticello went defense left, which left Logan to say, okay, ball's bobbled, and nobody was in front of Logan. He just tiptoed into the end zone as we get set with Alexa Bennett for the PAT try.
She'll kick out of the hold of Ivan. Ivan's going to throw it. He tosses it up for grabs, and it's picked off, so neither team can convert the extra point. And with 10:37 to go, we are even at 6 here at Gwinnett Field. We'll send it back to the studio for a quick commercial break. More Raider football coming your way after this on WDLC, presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
September is National Recovery Month. ADAC's Family Support Navigation Program is here to help the family and loved ones of those who are experiencing substance use issues. The Family Support Navigator provides one-on-one education and support to family members and facilitates a weekly virtual Circle of Hope support group. To reach a Family Support Navigator, please call our Hope line at 1-844-984-HOPE. All services are free and confidential.
Yard by yard, Raiders football is live on WDLC Country.
10:37 to go, first quarter, 6-all here at Glenette Field. Season opener, week 0 they call this. Want to give a shout out to Rich and Jamie listening around the fire. Sent me a picture before that thing was raging. Ready to go for Raider football 2023. Port will kick it back to Monticello. Raiders kicking left to right. It'll be Carol Dolshin handling the kickoff duties in the early goings here for Port Jervis. It was Dolshin who set Port up a 4-play drive. I'm going to have to lean on Tom's statistical expertise. Tommy, that drive started at the Monticello 46, but Port got pushed back all the way to their own 43. So do they get 57 yards out of that drive, or do they just get the 46?
Oh, absolutely. That ball goes back. That's where they start. Dolshin with a short kick here.
Very short kick, fielded at the 31-yard line. Across the 40, 45, 50, and finally the Monticello return man is pushed out of bounds, and then a flag comes out after he goes out of bounds. He's just shy of midfield on the far side of the field, and we'll see what the impact of the penalty is going to be.
It's going to be a 15-yarder against Port. I mean, he was way out of bounds, and there was a late hit. He got pushed behind the bench. That was Xavier Mitchell, number 9 for Monticello, with the return. And they're going to mark the ball at the Monticello 49, and then they're going to hike the Raiders back, and it looks like it's going to be a 15-yarder.
That's tough.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been waiting all year for this Port Jervis defense. I mean, this defense coming out here with all these seniors they have. This is going to be an electric defense to watch this year.
So the ball's going to be marked officially, Kevin, and E at the Port Jervis 36. E, Port Jervis's D's out there now. They got to protect these 36 yards.
Tom, I think they gave him an extra. It's like right on the stripe. 10:31 to go, first quarter, 6-all here. Monticello with the ball working right to left. And we are ready to go. Monticello running they're running plays exactly like Port, and then there's a flag. It must be on the defense because they're letting the players play to the whistle. No? And the helmet came off.
It's going to be on the offense. It looks
so
like
why did they let them play?
It was an illegal formation on the play.
Okay.
The back judge was signaling to the referee that there was a penalty on the play. So the ref threw the flag. I think he just threw the flag seeing his partner waving to him. We'll see what's going to be assessed, but this should go against Monticello. Monticello was confused. The right tackle moved before the snap.
Flag on the play.
And they're going to move Monticello back 5. I believe it's going to be an illegal shift or perhaps a procedure or substitution. So it'll be a -5 to Monticello.
Let's see here, Tommy. What do you got, E?
Flag on Monticello, illegal formation.
So it's illegal formation against Monticello. That'll move the ball 5 yards back. And they're going to give 1st and 15 for Monticello.
Both teams offensively moving backwards tonight at times.
So it'll be 1st and 15 at the Port Jervis 40-yard line, although they have it at the 39-ish, but we're going to have to call it, Kevin, we're going to call it the 40.
It's all over the place.
Week 0. Week 0.
Seth Jackson is the quarterback, and they'll mix things up a little bit. He has a back in front of him to his left and a back directly behind him. He's a left-handed quarterback. He takes the snap and pitches it to the back behind him. And excellent pursuit in the backfield. It's Theodore. It's Chris Hicks, and Hicks wrestles him down. Also back in there, TJ Fergus. We love Tim. I don't see the yellow gloves this year. He switched to red. Going with something a little bit different, TJ. Big loss on the play. Excellent pursuit. You got to love it. 3 black jerseys in the backfield.
Yeah, that's what every single defensive coordinator is looking for. You know, that having the whole team swarm to the ball, and for Anthony to come up and make that play that's an amazing play. It looks like he came from the opposite side of the field to make that play.
What am I missing, dude?
A lot of athletes on that defense, and a great surge from the defense, both line and linebackers, and. Yeah, Fergus finished it off at the end. Kevin, I didn't notice him either. Although I will say, The red gloves he's wearing are pretty sharp.
Yeah, we do like those red gloves. A lot better than the yellow ones, at least.
What a great interview from last year, too. The Taco Bell, right?
It was such a good interview. 9:13 to go. Clock rolling in the Masters Pest Control first quarter, and whistles again on the field. A timeout is called by Monticello. We'll take this opportunity to give a couple shout-outs. Heard from Ray Torres before. He's listening. He wished us well.
We got a big shout out. My niece Molly is out in college. Molly is at the University of Hartford, so I want to wish her all the best out there. She's listening from there. And how about Trish? Happy football season. So excited to be listening to you guys. We're with the Costellos rooting our Raiders. Now that's a crew right there.
Absolutely. Also want to send a shout out to Mary Alice and George. I don't know if anybody else is rolling with them. They're on their way to Cortland's home opener. My niece Jillian Presto involved in the Cortland cheer squad, involved in NCA, so cheerleading runs in our family. And I heard from my wife and from Natalie, they love the new Port cheerleading uniforms. They are going heavy red. It's a dominant red uniform this year for the Port cheerleaders. All right, so it's third and a long way to go for Monticello. And there seems to be more confusion as a player from Monticello is now sprinting off the field.
Can't break the huddle like that.
It's an empty backfield for Seth Jackson and the Monticello Panthers. Raiders licking their chops. Jackson is pressured, throws it deep as a man wide open, connects inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5-yard line. Xavion Mitchell, who has a big size advantage, not necessarily height, but a big, solid size advantage against the Port secondary. Tommy, he just got behind him.
You know, Fergus kind of bit thinking that the Monticello was that Jackson was going to be sacked in the backfield. You can't bite in like that, and it was all athleticism by Mitchell down the sidelines. Jackson, all he had to do was loft that up there, as it was a big play pickup. It'll be first and goal for Monticello.
45-yard pickup.
Marked. We're going to give it the, what do we give it, the 3-yard line there, Kev?
Yeah, they're giving him the 3.
That's a pickup of 44.
Wow. Big play for Monticello. 6 all. 8:18 to go. Clock rolling.
This Monticello team is disjointed. They don't break the huddle right. They line up wrong. But, boy, when they get the ball in motion, they have some talent out there. But right now, they're taking an awful long time. I wonder if they'll get a delay.
No, we don't have a play clock. Maybe next year. Jackson rolls to his right. He's in trouble, and he's going to be brought down. A trio of Raiders in on the tackle, led by Ryan Ross, the senior captain. Maddox McCormick, he was in there as well. And I think Ivan Figueroa got a piece of that tackle.
Absolutely. Loss on the play. They're going to put that ball all the way back to the 9-yard line, so a loss of 6 on the play. So it'll be second and goal for Monticello at the Port Jervis 9-yard line. That defense.
Yeah, man, this Port Jervis defense is something special. I said it in the beginning of the game. I'm going to say it all again. I'm going to say it all year, actually. This Port Jervis defense is probably going to be one of the best defenses we see in Section 9 this year.
A lot of guys flying around back there. They're going to have to come up now. Second and goal. Ball at the 9.
Jackson will be in the shotgun. One back behind him. It's Quentin Aliciaga. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. That's Xavion. The ball's fumbled. It's on the ground, but I think Monticello was able to cover it inside the Port 15-yard line, so they'll lose about 5 on that fumble. It'll be third and goal now from the Port 14-yard line.
Loss of 11 yards on the last 2 plays for Monticello. And, you know, if you're a Port Jervis fans, defense, doing great. But remember, Monticello had the quick strike on the opening kickoff and that big 44-yard pass reception from Jackson to Mitchell. So Port's defense, when they are 11 men helmet to helmet, they are taking care of business.
Your buddy Chris Conklin chiming in.
Chris he's 2 weeks early. That's Mr. Middletown over there. We'll talk about him in a minute.
Port Jervis on that play got bailed out right there. Their safety wasn't coming down to cover. If that ball was actually snapped and executed, that would have been a touchdown.
Through his eyes here on WDLC. Jackson over the middle. It's bobbled and dropped. It's incomplete. 4th and goal coming up. Was that Ryan Ross?
That was
coverage?
Ryan Ross. That was beautiful coverage, especially coming from a middle linebacker. Being able to watch that inside hip, making sure that to send that receiver inside and to break that up as soon as he touches that ball. That was crisp. You won't see that out of any other linebacker.
No, in the pregame, Ross talked about it. You know, he suffered an ACL knee injury during wrestling season, and his recovery has been ongoing. He said he feels 100%, and he's showing that on the field tonight.
had a great conversation with Ryan Ross last night, and he told me, he's like, I can't wait to get out of there. He said he's been thinking he's had this game on his calendar since he tore that ACL. He's ready.
4th and goal to go for Monticello. Jackson's going to throws to the far side end zone. It's a jump ball. It's tipped away by Jaron Rodriguez. Boy, I'll tell you what, Jaron was not in good position, but he was able to get his arm and his hand in the right spot at the right time to bat it away from Rafael Lisiaga. The Raiders dodge a bullet. Monticello cannot score, and with 5:49 to go in the Masters Pest Control first quarter, the Raider offense is back on the field. 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Talked to Jaron this week about what he likes to play, offense or defense. He didn't miss a beat. Absolutely. All about the defense with him, and he showed it there. Kevin, you're right. He was a little delayed, but he turned around, got his hand in the right spot, the right time, made a great play.
These guys love to hit. Morris is going to throw on 1st down. Throws deep to the near sideline. He wants Rodriguez. He got it to the 40, 45, 50, 55. I almost said 55 to the 45, and he's inside Monticello territory to the Panther 38-yard line, and a late flag.
The beginning of that play, I mean, Jaron, as he came out of that huddle, he saw that he had no safety coming over top to help him, and he told Logan, he was smacking his helmet like crazy. He said, Logan, you better throw me this ball wide open. That was a great that's like connection between these two. You know, they've been playing for a while now, and it's starting to gel.
60 yards on the reception. Now let's see if they tack on a little extra, and they're gonna tack on the 15 yards for a personal foul.
So it's going to be 1st down for Port Jervis, and they'll move it up to the 24-yard line.
Wow. Ball was originally marked at the Port Jervis 14. It is 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Monticello 24-yard line. Huge play, 2 huge plays in a row from Jaron Rodriguez.
Yeah, they pick up 65 yards in one play with the penalty and the long pass. 1st down Port, left to right they go in a tie game, 6-all. Morris to throw again. He has Maddox McCormick inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown Raiders! Maddox McCormick from 24 yards out, and it is 12-6 Port Jervis with 5:17 to go here in the Masters Pest Control first quarter.
You know, I talked to Maddox earlier in the week, and he said he's coming out of tight end. They're going to be running a lot of tight end pass plays today, so I'd be expecting to hear Maddox McCormick's name being called a lot tonight.
Well, they have so many good athletes on this roster. You know, you talk about guys like Dolshin and McCormick who are just so strong and so fearless. You got to use them.
You have to use them. If you don't, it'd be a waste, you know?
Port's going to go for 2 here, guys.
Yep, Dolshin's in the backfield to the right of Morris as the Raiders go for a 2-point try. Morris going to hand it off to Dolshin. Dolshin bowls straight ahead into the end zone. 2 points for the Raiders. 14-6 Port. 5:17 to go in the first quarter. We're back after this message here on WDLC. It's all presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
After 9 years as an assistant district attorney, Matt Witherow returned to his hometown to serve the community he grew up in. Now located at 150 East Main Street, Matt Witherow is licensed in New York and Pennsylvania to help you navigate legal matters including real estate transactions, personal injury, wills, traffic matters, and foreclosure assistance. Count on the law office of Matthew D. Witherow to guide you like a neighbor would. Call for a free consultation, 856-5900 for the law office of Matthew D. Witherow. Online at port-jervis-law.com.
This is Port Jervis High School football on WDLC Country.
5:17 to go here, first quarter, 14-6. We're fired up here in the press box. We've been talking about that series during the entire commercial break. That was a 50-yard pass from Logan Morris to Jaron Rodriguez. Then you add 15 yards on the back of a personal foul penalty against Monticello. Then a 24-yard touchdown strike from Morris to tight end Maddox McCormick. 2-point conversion is good on the legs of Carol Dolshin, and it's 14-6 Port Jervis. Boy, the memories of that opening kick return touchdown for Monticello have been largely forgotten as the Raiders are back and in control of this game. And now Derek Young will send it away for the Raiders.
Derek Young. He's one of the soccer players that Port picked up this year.
Short kick, live ball inside the 28. Monticello falls on it at the 26-yard line. So the clock won't move. As we look at our Bucky's Taxi drive summary for the Raiders, 2 plays to go 86 yards in 42 seconds. No, I'm sorry, 32 seconds in time of possession. That's, when you talked to Logan, he said, maybe the ball's going to be on the ground more, a little bit more traditional pound the rock kind of an offense. And they get a couple huge plays in the air on that drive to take the lead, 14-6.
We just got a text. I give a shout out to my niece Molly, her little brother, who just had his 12th birthday the other day, said, Uncle Tom, I'm in the car with Mom, and I heard you talking about Molly. So, Adam, shout out to you, buddy. Adam's starting his football career this week as school starts in Eldred, and he'll be a modified Eldred Yellow Jacket, so wish him all the best this year. We got lots more shout-outs coming. Keep sending them our ways as we will talk to all of our favorite Raider fans here and across the nation.
First down for Monticello. They're in trouble. Was that Hicks that just tossed him to the ground?
That was Figueroa.
Ivan Figueroa.
And on the carry, that was Quentin.
Loss of 5 seconds.
Help me out on the pronunciation. Quentin's Raphael's brother for Monticello with a loss on the play. And that ball's going to be marked at the 20-yard line, so a loss of 6 on the play. Monticello's offense just falling apart right now. But that Port defense just totally fired up.
Yeah, this Port Jervis defense, it's something you don't see in a lot of schools. Port Jervis has a very dominant defense for the past couple of years.
Dominant defense for Port. There's a high-powered offense in New York State, and I think it's up in Utica at the U up there. Big shout-out to the boys in Suite 311. Michael and Brett, they were guys listening and enjoying rooting on their alma mater, the Raiders. As it's great to hear so many people from around the region reaching out and listening to us.
So it's 2nd and 14 for Monticello from their own 22-yard line.
Oh, they moved that ball, didn't they, Kevin?
And there's a whistle. Is it Monticello taking a timeout? It is.
Wow. Second timeout by Monticello. They have 1 left. Here's the game reset. 4 minutes, 3 seconds here in the first quarter remaining. The score is 14-6, Port Jervis. Now, looking at the scoreboard, 14-6, okay, we got ourselves a good football game. Let's do 2 things. Let's subtract the opening kickoff, and let's subtract the big 40-yard pass down the sidelines for Monticello. Port Jervis has dominated this game once they settled down. You've talked about the defense being so all over the place on the field, but this offense has had great line blocking, some great runs, and I tell you what, they put that ball in the air. You get Maddox in the flats, you're going to have a pretty big linebacker to want to take him down.
Oh yeah, you're going to have a pretty big someone to take him down. Not a linebacker. You're going to need half the team to take down Maddox McCormick.
So we told you before, our radio broadcast presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County. They have their Recovery Reconnect Picnic in the Park coming up Friday, September 15th from 12 to 2 at Riverside Park in the Pavilion area, 4th Street in Port Jervis. Come connect and celebrate recovery. It's a family-friendly event. Free food and games will be provided. The Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council Recovery Reconnect Picnic in the Park. For more information, recovery.services at adacinfo.com. 2nd and 14 for Monticello. That they're at their own 22-yard line. They'll go trips to the near side, a single receiver split out to the far side of the field, and it'll be Jackson continuing to take the snaps out of the shotgun, and he'll throw to the far side of the field. He's got a receiver, and it is tipped away. Jaron Rodriguez was playing for the pick, but it was a little bit too tall for him. He's able to get a mid on it and send it wayward, so no shot for Rafael Lisiaga to haul that one in. It is 3rd down and 14.
Give us your take on this. It seems as if Monticello has no confidence in any type of offensive play. Seems they are haphazard broken. They've already burned 2 timeouts, whereas that Port defense is hungry. They're just excited for that ball to get snapped.
Yeah, man, and that play right there, that was, I think, the most time the quarterbacks had to throw the ball all night already. And he just threw it up. And
what did he do? He underthrew his receiver.
Yeah,
sometimes maybe not thinking is probably the best.
Yeah, he threw up a prayer.
This time, Monticello will move Tobias Brown Jr. into the backfield. They'll go with twins on each side of the field as they snap it between the hash marks at their own 22-yard line. Going right to left with Port leading 14-6. Heavy pressure coming. Jackson's in trouble. He's wrapped up and wrestled down to the ground. And it's Carroll Dolshin, the junior, who takes him down. Fourth and long coming, a punt situation for Monticello, and Carroll's sister Faith just rolled up in front of us in the bleachers here.
Ball going to be marked at the 19-yard line, so a 3-yard sack by Dolshin. Dolshin on both sides of the ball, just a ferocious football player.
He really is. You know, he came up to the varsity as a freshman, made some big plays in the Pleasantville game, the 1-point loss 2 years ago in the state quarterfinals. Proved himself to be an exceptionally talented defender and, you know, has continued to improve as a running back over his time on the varsity. They're expecting big things from him on the offensive side of the ball. We know he's capable of big things on the defensive side.
Rumor was back in the day he ruled your neighborhood. He was a street legend, I heard. Baseball, softball, football,
Absolutely.
You name it.
Absolutely. Carroll and his brother Isaiah were in the street all the time playing football, baseball, basketball, whatever.
You ever try to post him up, Kev?
I would not even dare. Fourth down, punt formation for the Panthers. They'll kick it away right to left with 2:38 and counting in the first quarter. This ball, it looks like it was tipped. Port Jervis is going to let it roll. It was down by Monticello at the Panther 39-yard line. And so great field position for the Raiders, up 14-6 here with 2:28 to go in this first quarter. There's always, at least it seems from our vantage point, jitters. A lot of happy feet, early penalties in the first game. Give us the perspective as the players. What's happening out there with your brain, with your body? Why does it seem like there's just a bunch of confusion going on and then it kind of starts to settle down?
Well, you know, playing football, I mean, you made the reference earlier about announcing. It's like riding a bike. You know, it takes a little bit to get used to if you haven't been on the field in a while. But once you hit that field, you know that it's going to start.
Anthony Theodore will take a handoff, and he's got a big hole on the left side. First down yardage more. He's still going. He barreled through a pair of defenders and is finally wrestled down at the Monticello 15-yard line.
Boy, Theodore was, 12 yards deep in the backfield? Thought he was going to take a punt, but they just gave him a big handoff, and he took it off the left side. A kid of that talent, so fast, but also so strong, takes it up the left side, doesn't run out of bounds, puts his shoulder down, knocks the corner to the ground, gets himself all the way down to the 15 for the Raiders. Big run.
23-yard pickup for Anthony Theodore. First down, Port. 14-6, the Raiders lead. They're looking for more. They'll send Maddox McCormick out, but they'll throw to Jaron Rodriguez, who can't haul it in. He picks it up just in case it was behind the line, but it wasn't. It was a forward pass, an incomplete one. It'll stop the clock with 1:43 to go in the Masters Pest Control first quarter. It's 14-6, Port Jervis here on WDLC.
Quick look at the stat book. I believe that's the first incomplete for Logan tonight.
I think you're right about that. By the way, we got our first Withero Law out-of-town scoreboard update at halftime in Warwick. The Wildcats lead Binghamton 12-0 in a Week 0 intersectional game, or intrasectional. What's the right way to say that?
Must have started early down
6
there.
6 o'clock kickoff in Warwick tonight. Second down for Port at the Monticello 15. Handoff right up the gut. Ball's loose. It's fumbled, and Monticello recovers it. Landing on the ball was Xavion Mitchell. Dolshin fumbled it, and the Raiders will give the Panthers back. They won't get any points out of that possession.
Oh, that's just a tough play. I think that Dolshin was going a little too fast in the legs before he had the ball in the breadbasket, and the ball popped out of his hands. And that's a Week 0 fumble right there. You know, later in the season, that's not happening.
That's a great point.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Monticello. Ball's going to be marked. Where do they have that, Kev?
I see it at the Monticello 7.
If I was Monticello, I'd be awful nervous right now. 1:37 left in the first quarter. The Port Jervis' defense here, they've been on their top of their game. Monticello's going to have to try to do something. I want to see them try to get the ball outside, a little running game, but they haven't been able to establish anything at the line of scrimmage.
First down, Monticello, right to left. They go from their own 7. A lot of field in front of them. They'll throw over the middle. It's incomplete. Not a bad play design, but Monticello could not execute. It was intended for Frank McFadden in the seam.
Johnny Fuller, number 1 for the Raiders. senior, 5'11", 160. Now, here's the story. Johnny Fuller was a $140 soaking wet last year. This kid put on 25 pounds, all muscle, solid 160. There's a kid out there you don't want to mess with. He is a good, strong, hard-nosed football player. But if you look at him quick, you might pass by him and not really see that. But, boy, that kid knows how to play the game.
He's an excellent baseball player as well. His dad, John Fuller, a standout football player and wrestler here at Port. He's got to be over the moon that Johnny has developed the way he has on the football field.
He's got to be proud, too. I know his dad very well, and I think Johnny's getting to the point where he's almost as strong as his pop.
Second down, 10 to go for Monticello. They'll snap it from their own 7-yard line. 92 seconds left in the first quarter, 14-6 Port. Mix up on the handoff, and he's going to be swallowed up inside the end zone.
They might give him.
They're going to give him the 1 yard, maybe the 2 yard.
Forward progress.
Oh, that's tough because, boy, I thought when he got wrapped, he was in there. Yeah, they need to get the clock moving here as it stopped with 1:26 to go in the first quarter. 14-6, Port Jervis leads, and Monticello loses 5 on the second down play. And from the shadow of their own end zone, they'll snap third and very, very long. A couple players check in late to the huddle for Monticello.
They don't look like they even want to be in the huddle.
And Port's defense is chopping at the bit here. The ball is 6 feet outside of the end zone. Up front, you have Carol Dolshin, you have Ivan Figueroa, Chris Hicks,
and a very tall Xavier Joseph.
Yes, Xavier Joseph.
You're not going to throw it over his head.
Double nickels for Xavier Joseph this year. Inside of a minute, the ball snapped over Jackson's head. It goes out of the back of the end zone. It's a safety for the Port Jervis defense. And the Raiders will extend their lead to 16-6. Heavy pressure forced a bad snap. It goes over Jackson's head. The Raiders kick it out of the end zone, and it is 16-6 Port. Well, the Raider defense got shell-shocked on the opening play of the game, that long kickoff return, but they've been very solid since.
Well, week 0, you got to settle into the game a little bit, so Port Jervis definitely was ill-prepared for that opening kickoff. And other than that pass down the sidelines, Kev, Port Jervis, both sides of the ball, throw in the specials, they have been special tonight.
Indeed. We have 52 seconds left in the Masters Pest Control first quarter. It is now 16-6 Port Jervis, and the Raider offense should be getting the ball back. This weekend is opening weekend for the Port Jervis Youth Football League this Sunday, September the 3rd. At Harriet Space Park, a triple header as Port Jervis hosts Goshen in Mighty Mites, D1 and D2.
You're going to be there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Guess what? They're letting a loudmouth like me in the press box, so watch out. Watch out on Sunday. It'll be a great day. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I think we might even try to drag E out there. E, that's in the town of Deer Park. I know you know Port Jervis, so it's out there on Route 209, Field of Dreams.
Hey, man,
you were talking pregame.
That's where I did all my. That was my old stomping ground.
When was the last time you were out there to see a game, though?
Last time I was out there, I saw Ryan Ross playing in the D3 or D2. I think that was the last time.
The legend of Ethan McElroy was born on the Harriet Space Park field. The snow game.
When he was out there, I heard he was signing autographs.
All right, 52 seconds on the clock. The Raider return squad lined up in Monticello territory as the Panthers' free kick will be sent away from their own 20-yard line. Back deep to return for the Raiders, Jaron Rodriguez and Anthony Theodore.
I'll pick your poison, right?
Yep, it'll be Rodriguez to take it to the Port 42. A good kick. He takes it across midfield to the 40 of Monticello. Flag comes in, and Rodriguez is going to be wrapped up inside the 35-yard line, about the 33. But this flag might bring Port back a little bit.
Yeah, that flag came flying from the back, and it looks like it might be a block in the back at about the Monticello. Almost, actually, the flag's at the 50, so right at the 50-yard line. So Port with the little hands behind the back there. That'll negate a nice run by Rodriguez. Nonetheless, though, Port is going to get the ball.
A hold.
A hold.
On the return, okay.
Week 0.
Hey, want to give a shout-out to DJ Rockefeller, Matt Fuller, tuning in tonight. And
well, what a guy that is. What a great guy.
He's a legend. He's, man, Matt does so much for the community. He donates so much of his time. He has donated a lot of it to the Little League on their opening days and their hit-a-thons. And this guy, he bleeds black and red, does Matt Fuller. We also heard again from Chris Conklin. We talked about him before. He going to be the offensive coordinator for the D2 PJYFL squad on Sunday. He heard us talking about the kids, and his son, of course, playing PJYFL football, played Little League as well. Here's a handoff to Carroll Dolshin. Dolshin has a big hole on the left side. He's across midfield. He gets to the 40, the 35, and he drags a defender inside the Monticello 30-yard line.
That was a great setup on that left side. You know, that tackle really sealed off that end right there, and that's what gave Dolshin that boost.
Well, clock should stop on the first down.
You can't win them all. Right now, clock's not winning any of them.
Well, that clock should stop. The play can't end. The quarter can't end with the clock running on the first down, and the chains aren't even set yet. Ball's going to be marked at the Monticello 29-yard line.
Got to stop that clock on the first down. Port Jervis is not going to get a snap off before the quarter comes to a close. That's pretty wild. All right, 12 in the books here at Gwinnett Field, and Port Jervis leads by 10, 16-6. We're back after this with more Raider football here on WDLC. It's presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
September is National Recovery Month. ADAC's peer engagement specialists are people who have lived experience in recovery. They provide person-centered support to individuals over 18 struggling with substance use. Through lived experience, respect, and mutual understanding, peer engagement specialists help people become and stay engaged in the treatment and recovery process. To reach a peer engagement specialist, please call our Hope line at 1-844-984-HOPE. All services are free and confidential.
We're going back to the field for more Port Jervis football, only on WDLC Country.
Welcome back to Port Jervis High School football live here on WDLC Country 95.3 and 107.7 alongside Tom Faggione and Ethan McElroy. I'm Kevin Halpenny. Zach Smith back in our WDLC studios tonight. Port Jervis enjoys a 16-6 lead over visiting Monticello. This is a non-league Week 0 season opener. Port Jervis trying to pick up where they left off, dominating the local competition. Tough end of the season last year for the Raiders. They kind of got smacked around a little bit by Pleasantville up in Mahopac. So they have some goals this year. They have some hills to climb, and they definitely have, right now, Coach Damian Stryharski has the ear of the officials. He's got to be hot about the clock management that's going on. The Raiders got a big first down on that last play, and then the clock just kept on running. We'll start our second quarter with Port in front, 16-6 here at Gwinnett Field, and the Raiders working right to left. Ryan Ross is in the backfield right now for Port Jervis. Anthony Theodore in the slot. Jaron Rodriguez is split out to the wide side of the field. And Josiah Welch is the receiver, split to the near side. And now the whistles will start the play. And Monticello has a late player running out to the field. How do you let him run out like that? And it's a handoff. No, it's a play-action pass over the middle, a little bit too far.
Well, no crime in having 10 on the field, but the guy can't come on the field on the offensive side of the ball.
Hey, guys, it's Week 0.
It is Week 0. He's settling us down a little bit here. We're getting a little too cranky.
I've been waiting for this game since last year, big guy. Come on. Speaking of Week 0, there's nothing weak about the conditions here at Gwinnett Field tonight.
Oh, my.
It is fantastic. The field looks awesome. The P, the J, lettered in the center of the field. Grounds crew, hats off. World class here tonight.
Saw Red Hosan earlier today. Legend. Here's a handoff to Theodore. Slips a tackle out to the far side, inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 10. Theodore scores, but a flag is down.
Bunch of laundry on the field.
Anthony Theodore for now a 30-yard touchdown run, but in all likelihood, that's coming back.
Wow, that play was going to come back right from the get-go. There were some big hits at the line of scrimmage, and when the play went downfield, there were some continuing hits, which are 100% legal. And if you're engaged with a blocker and he turns his back on you and you're still blocking him, that's not the block in the back. However, that's how it was called, so this will come back.
I want to give a shout out to a couple of former Raiders, Andre Griffith, Allie McElroy, back from college, listening to Raider football tonight around the fire. I'm telling you, the weather could not be better. It was 70 at kickoff. It's dipped a little bit now, and it's just that beautiful, crisp fall air, fall atmosphere that you love to see. It's 62 right now in Port Jervis. 11:42 to go, second quarter. Clock rolls. Port facing a 2nd and 12 from the Monticello 32. Morris going to throw a little bubble screen. Caught. Big yardage inside the 25-yard line, down to about the 22. That's Maddox McCormick on the screen.
Tackle by Mitchell. That's one of those plays that, doesn't make the highlight films, but that's a play that sets Port Jervis up now for a 3rd and short, which gives them some opportunity. Do they play action? Do they run the ball? Gives them a lot more options on this short 3rd down. Nice play by McCormick.
They'll give him 9 to the Monticello 23. It's a 3rd and 3 coming up for the Raiders. Up 16-6. Morris going to hand this one off to Dolshin. Dolshin will stiff arm a defender and toss him to the ground. First down, no problem for Carroll Dolshin as he takes it inside the 15 to the 14-yard line.
I think you mean Derrick Henry there, Kev. I don't think that's Carroll Dolshin. That looks like Derrick Henry out there.
I mean, he is a steam engine coming through. 15 is where they'll spot the ball, so he gets 8 on the carry, and it's a first down for the Raiders. 10:44, second quarter, 16-6 Port. Raiders on the move, right to left they go. Morris out of the shotgun from the Monticello 15. Play action pass, floats it into the backfield. It's intended for Anthony Theodore, incomplete.
Boy, and you can see Coach Chris Stellato, offensive coordinator on the sidelines, very animated, jumping up and down. He knew that play was there. Logan got a heavy rush, so he kind of had to sidearm that a little bit, and when he did, it sailed over Theodore's head. But the flats were wide open, and you don't need much for Theodore. You give him a little bit of green space in the open field, he's going to make big things happen.
Dr. Sarah Little making tonight's broadcast possible and also tuning in tonight. How's it going, Dr. Sarah? Great to hear from you. 16-6 Port. Second down from the Monticello 15. Dolshin gets the carry, and Dolshin has a lane into the end zone for a Port Jervis touchdown. Carroll Dolshin making it look easy. A 15-yard scamper, and it is 22-6 Raiders with 10:24 to go here in the second quarter. Extra point is pending.
That play.
Wow.
Not a single Monticello player wanted to engage Carroll Dolshin.
Yeah, I don't think I would have either. I mean, when you see one of those kids running down the field like that with a full head of steam, you're either letting your body get destroyed or you're getting out of the way.
It's a large man right there, 242 pounds, and he has good footwork and a heavy shoulder.
For a big man, he has great footwork.
Alexa Bennett will try for the extra point out of the hold of Ivan Figueroa. This one is up, and it is through the uprights and good. 23-6, Port Jervis leads Monticello. We're back in 30 seconds with more Raider football here on WDLC, presented by ADAC.
Hey, do you need a ride? Dial 845-856-3544 for Bucky's Taxi. They serve the entire tri-state area with local and long-distance taxi service. Now, whether you just need a ride to work or maybe your family needs a lift to the airport, Bucky's Taxi can get you where you need to go. Bucky's Taxi takes great pride in their transportation service. That's why they keep their cars clean and their drivers safe. The next time you need to be somewhere, call Bucky's Taxi, 845-856-3544.
It's Raiders football right here on WDLC Country.
24 to go, second quarter, 23-6. Port Jervis leads as we take a look at our Bucky's Taxi drive summary. Port Jervis goes 61 yards in 6 plays. We'll say they take about 2 minutes, 36 seconds off the clock. A 15-yard touchdown run by Carroll Dolshin. The extra point good off the right foot of Alexa Bennett, and it's 23-6 Port Jervis. Derek Young will kick it away. I'm going to give a shout out to Austin Carroll tuning in tonight. Austin stepping away from his role as the offensive line coach to coach his daughter in softball, spend more time with the family. Love hearing from Coach Austin.
Well, and unfortunately for Austin, he's not getting ready for our Mets playoffs.
No, he is not.
Line drive off the foot of Young is picked up at the 26-yard line, and then all the way to the far side of the field across the 30, 35, 40, back to the middle, and brought down in the open field. A nice tackle made there at the 44-yard line, Jaron Rodriguez. Is that who brought him down, E?
Yep, that was a beautiful open field tackle. To see that receiver running up and cutting back, great eyes by Jaron right there.
So Monticello will start with the football first and 10 at their own 45-yard line, 10:13 to go here in the second quarter. Port in front by 17, 23-6. An opening kickoff return for a touchdown by Monticello, and since then, 23 straight points for Port Jervis. Raiders defense comes back out here. And it is Jackson in the shotgun for Monticello. Left to right go the Panthers, and now they will flank Jackson on both sides by backs. A receiver split out to each side of the field, one in the slot on the far side. High snap. Jackson recovers it.
Boy.
Ball's loose.
Pick that
it's
up.
on the ground. The Raiders have it scooped, and they're brought down at about the 23-yard line. Ryan Ross with the fumble recovery. He had his eyes set on that scoop and score, but Monticello was able to prevent that from happening. They're not able to prevent the turnover from happening.
I think he caused that fumble too.
Did he?
I think he caused the fumble and picked it up.
High snap, that millisecond of delay that Monticello Panthers had to deal with was all Port Jervis defense need. Ross knocks the ball loose, tries to pick it up himself, gets the ball down, 1st and 10 at the Port 23-yard line. Check that, the Monticello 23.
Raiders have the ball back up 23-6 and looking for more here. Morris out of the shotgun, Dolshin in the backfield. Rodriguez and Theodore split to the far side. Now Theodore goes in motion, and he'll get it on a sweep. Near side, he's inside the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown Raiders! Anthony Theodore.
Not a single Monticello player was even close to Theodore on that play.
22 yards for Anthony Theodore. It's 29-6 with 9:58 to go in the second quarter. These Buc-ee's taxi drive summaries just keep getting shorter. That was 8 seconds in time of possession. One play. It was all Anthony Theodore, and Alexa Bennett's like, wasn't I just out here? She's on the field again to try another extra point, try to make it 30-6. Raiders looking sharp here in week 0. And the extra point is blocked. Twice tonight, Monticello has blocked the extra point, so the score will hold. 29-6, Raiders in front. Let's keep it here in the booth. Halftime coming up. We have John Bell, the superintendent of schools, set to join us. I didn't see him yet. Tommy, did you see him out?
The doctor is in the house. He was here early. He reminded me several times that he will be joining us at halftime. I think he's very excited.
I want to also give a shout out to the PJYFL cheerleaders. They are enjoying the Macarena right now in front of us. I want to give a shout out to my wife, Tricia, who's sitting with E's mom, Jenny McElroy, trying to keep these cheerleaders under control. Who are we kidding, E? The cheerleaders are trying to keep the moms under control.
Lots of people listening all across the country right now. Our good buddy Bruce Williams is down south. I know he is a legendary Raider, and he is listening. And Janine Shearer, not too far away, just up the road here. She's listening, so I want to thank her for listening. She's been a Raider fan. She's the one that reminded me years ago that today, September 1st, is Ed and Lou Bannock Day.
That's what I'm talking about. Love Janine. Her son Tim Shearer played for the Raiders. Her daughter Jillian, I believe Jillian Shearer, she was telling me starting a business or a side hustle. That's what the kids call it these days, Tommy.
Listen,
taking over a fudge business.
Great family. Veterans. Mom and Dad both veterans, and Timmy, veterans all in one. Speaking of veterans, speaking of good-looking uniforms, the Raiders have some good-looking uniforms tonight for sure, but nothing better than our young people in our service uniforms. A huge shout-out to Autumn Bennett. She's here listening back home while she's home on leave from the Navy. So, Autumn, thank you. Thank you for taking that oath and protecting our country, and I hope you're enjoying the game. We're having a great time, and all because of you and everyone else that wears that uniform. So thank you so much.
All right, go ahead, E. What you got?
Keeping the shout-outs rolling. Give a shout-out to my whole family listening. I really appreciate all the love and support you guys show, especially you, Dad. I know you listen every game, and I really appreciate it.
Here's the kick. It's a squibber. That ball is live and loose on the ground. Monticello was able to get to it. Boy, it was a very close. Jaron Rodriguez nearly beat the Monticello guy to
He
the
almost
ball.
decapitated that kid. Whew, that was a little scary.
It was. First down Monticello. They'll have it at about their own 37.
All right.
38 maybe? Let's call it 38.
You guys know how much I enjoy the stats. I'm looking at our stat sheet, and Derek is a nice young man. He's a senior, the kicker on the team. They have him listed at 5'6", 148. I think someone else was on the scale with him on that. He's nice young. He's a great kid, and he's a nice young man. Happy 148 pounds young man.
9:54 to play in the first half. Port Jervis 29, Monticello 6. Season opener, home opener. Good crowd on hand for the Raiders. Representation from all over the school district. It's not just the high school kids who are out here rooting on their peers. It's the young kids. We have a ton of kids from the elementary school and middle schools here watching their Raiders, cheering the kids on. Here's a little short pass completed out into the flat at about the 38-yard line. So that's maybe 39, maybe got a yard out of that.
That was a great forcing him out by Dylan Fox right there. He saw the wide receiver being a little bit close to the sideline, so he flipped his hips and made sure that receiver stayed to the sideline.
And Dylan Fox getting more and more playing time. Remember, sophomore. He was a freshman last year on the squad, so he's a sophomore.
Well, Ethan and I were talking, boy, week 0 for me too. A lot of juniors and seniors on this roster, not a ton of sophomores. So the youth, not there yet to fill out the roster. Maybe they're in the JV. Maybe we have a deep JV program this year.
Quick stat check for you. The last offensive play, besides one just now, that Monticello had positive yards was the 44-yard pass down the sideline early in the first quarter.
2nd and 9. Big trouble for the quarterback, Jackson. Maddox McCormick wraps him up. Easy sack for McCormick.
Loss of about 6.
3rd and very long coming up for Monticello. Their offense just cannot move the football.
And I think they might have an injury right now. It looks like Jackson might be injured as he is on the ground right now for Monticello.
All right, so here's what we're going to do right now. We told you before that Tommy talked to Jaron Rodriguez and Chris Hicks. We didn't get to them in the pregame, so we're going to send it back to the studio right now for the conversation with Jaron Rodriguez. We have 8:40 to go here in the second quarter. Port leads Monticello 29-6. You're listening to Port Jervis football here on WDLC. It's all presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County. And here's back to the studio for the conversation with Jaron Rodriguez.
Joining us is senior, that's right, I said it, senior, and one of the captains of the Port Jervis Raiders, Jaron Rodriguez. Jaron, let's talk a little bit about the road to get to where you are today. I mean, you've been playing this game a long time.
Yeah, I'm playing ever since I was little, growing up, watching all my siblings play. It's good to be here.
Talk about last season, some of the heartbreak at the end of the season. How did that motivate you during the offseason?
During the offseason, I just watched film every day, just thinking about how we lost in that same game 2 years in a row. This year's going to be different. I can feel it.
Now, what's going to be so different about this year?
This year, all the guys, we have a small team, but they're all dedicated. Like, I feel like this is a year where everybody wants it. Nobody wants to have an off day or anything. We all want it. So I just think that the teamwork is going to be phenomenal this year.
You know, a lot of the players have mentioned that it's a small team roster-wise. Some teams would look at that and say, oh, my God, that's a detriment. It's hard. How are you going to be successful with such few numbers? Other players and teams will look at that and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. As long as we have a small, cohesive unit. How do you feel going into the season with the number of players we have?
I think it doesn't matter. Like, the 11 guys are going to be out there. I feel like that's like 20 of any other team's people. Like, our guys are just so much better this year. Like, we just want to fight until the very end. Like, the small numbers don't mean anything to me.
Now, talk about small. You're what, 5'8", 150 pounds maybe? Am I being a little generous?
Yeah, I'm about 5'8", 150, yeah.
But you know what?
All right, we'll get to the rest of Jaron's interview later, but we are back in action now, and the Monticello quarterback, Seth Jackson, is back on the field. Or no, he's not, I'm sorry.
He'll have to come off for at least a play. He was injured.
That looks like Tafari Smith, who will be taking the snaps and whistles. False start on Monticello. 8:29 to play, second quarter. It is 29-6, Port Jervis in front. And we want to give Ethan deserves a shout out, Tommy, I think, because he's pulling double duty right now. He's doing his role on the radio broadcast, but he's also running our camera. We're doing a little experimental live video streaming on the WDLC Facebook page.
Yeah, so sorry for everyone at home watching on Facebook. I'm just trying kind of hard doing both things.
He's running the camera, fist pumping in the air on every big defensive play for the Raiders. So his fist's been up in the air a lot tonight.
Just heard from Kendra Addy, who's tuning in. Shout out to us. Wow, that was pretty nice. She says, great broadcast. Happy first game to the PJ football players and the cheerleaders. Of course, Kendra's mom, Chris, is the varsity cheerleading coach here at Port Jervis. They had a cheerleading clinic over the summer that my daughter participated in, said it was totally awesome. And the Raider defense gets a flag, huh?
That was beautiful by Ivan and Ryan just did right there. They sat back in their stances and they sprinted up. As soon as they saw that quarterback get ready for his motion, they sprinted up, trying to just shake up that offensive line, and they did it perfectly. I mean, that is exactly what you want your linebackers to do. Putting the fear into that offensive line, making them jump. That is the ultimate psychological warfare right there, making someone jump by just flinching at them.
And remember, that line knows that they have the backup quarterback behind them. It's Xavier Mitchell who's in the quarterback spot now. So that guy's nervous. You're the offensive lineman. You're like, I can't make a mistake because that guy's going to get smoked behind me. And those linebackers, Ethan, excellent point. They were on top of that. And Monticello just folded.
3rd and 23 facing the Panthers. Trips to the near side. They'll float this ball in the flat. Caught across the 20-yard line. Check that, the 30-yard line. So it's a gain of 5, not nearly enough for the first down, and Monticello is going to have to punt again.
That was Tim Ferguson on that play. That open field tackle, man, watching him break down like that is that's like, you can't teach that. That is pure skill right there. You cannot teach that.
He slashed in there, and that was a great, because that could have gone big for Monticello.
Yeah, you cannot teach that at all.
And ball's being marked will give him the 30, so a pickup of 6 on the play. But it's 4th down for Monticello. Monticello's going to figure out who's going to punt, and it looks like Fuentes is out deep now, number 1.
Fuentes. Now, we talked about what Logan Morris is going to do with Jacob Balmos. Graduated. Well, he's here right now at Balmos watching the Raiders.
So Fuentes to punt for Monticello. He's lined up at their own 20-yard line. Not much of a leg from him.
They're going to fake it.
Yeah, he had
Fuentes,
to fake that.
He's in trouble. He's rung up at the 30-yard line.
Dylan Fox, what a hit. What a hit.
No gain. Turnover on down.
5. I guess, it was no gain, right? They snapped it from the 30-yard line.
What a hit. Oh, my.
Oh, boy, as Fuentes, you want to talk size and numbers. We don't have the height and weight on the Monticello players, but he can't be 5'5", $150. And, I don't know if that was his call or not, but if that was the coach's call and I'm him, I'm looking to the sidelines like, Coach, really? Come on, man.
You're listening to Port Jervis High School football on WDLC Port Jervis. Empty backfield for the Raiders on 1st and 10 from the Monticello 30.
Monticello brought the house, and I think they jumped.
A flag.
I think Monticello jumped.
Yeah, they got encroachment.
Yep.
So a free 5 for the Raiders.
Monticello.
29-6 Port leads here with 6:42 to go. We're not even halfway through the second quarter.
Well, Port broke that huddle quick, ran up to the line of scrimmage. Just like the defense for Port Jervis, getting Monticello's offense all out of whack. When you're playing defense and you're smoked 29-6, and you see that offense break the huddle and run to the line of scrimmage like
a freight train.
Look at all of a sudden you get a little antsy.
That's what Port coaches want to see. Those offensive linemen sprinting to that line.
Boy, Theodore way deep in that backfield. Takes the pitch to the right.
Oh my God!
Cuts it outside. He's down the sideline. He's got to take it in.
That was some of the best blocking I've seen on an edge in a while. That edge set up perfectly for Theodore. The depth he had made it possible for those blocks to set up. If he didn't have that depth, he wouldn't be able to have those blocks.
Kev, another quick drive summary coming up.
It's insane. We have one play, 30 yards, 25-yard touchdown, then the 5-yard penalty. 18 seconds in time of possession. So not the fastest drive, not the fastest scoring drive of the night for the Raiders. Alexa Bennett on to try another extra point. Our drive summaries are presented tonight and all season long by Bucky's Taxi. 35-6 Port leading. Looking to add one more to that. They're going to go for 2. Figueroa to throw. He's rolling right. Now he rolls left. Flicks it. And it is tipped and batted down. Another point after. No good. And we'll send it back to the studio for a quick commercial break. 6:27 to go before halftime. 35-6 Port in front. You're listening to live coverage of Raider High School football here on WDLC. It's all presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
After 9 years as an assistant district attorney, Matt Witherow returned to his hometown to serve the community he grew up in. Now located at 150 East Main Street, Matt Witherow is licensed in New York and Pennsylvania to help you navigate legal matters including real estate transactions, personal injury, wills, traffic matters, and foreclosure assistance. Count on the law office of Matthew D. Witherow to guide you like a neighbor would. Call for a free consultation, 856-5900 for the law office of Matthew D. Witherow. Online at port-jervis-law.com.
WDLC Port Jervis. You're listening to Port Jervis football only on WDLC Country.
35-6, Port Jervis leads Monticello. 6:27 to go here in the second quarter. Week 0 at Glenette Field, season opener. The Raiders are home for the next 2 weeks. They play Beacon on September 8th, and then a rare Thursday night game, and it's the Bell game. Kind of a strange scheduling quirk this year.
Well, you know, Port Middletown game on a Thursday used to happen. Oh, wait, that was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Wrong Thursday.
That was
Wrong
Thanksgiving.
Thursday.
That's a little brilliant piece of broadcasting, though, Tommy. 6:27 to go here, second quarter.
Turkey. I'll make some turkey that night.
The Raiders don't go on the road till September 22nd when they play at Neversink.
That's a big trip.
Here's another squibber.
Oh, that's live ball right there. That's
again.
a live ball.
Oh, what a hit on the far side of the field. Boom. Ryan Ross laying down the lumber on the kick return.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Well, that ball, if you're Monticello, that ball is rolling on the ground. You have two options. Do you run up and try to fall on it? The problem with that is sometimes the way the ball rolls, you run towards it and it bounces up in the air. But if you wait for the ball to roll to you,
that's going to happen.
You get rolled by Ryan Ross, and that was exactly what happened. Monticello just can't get out of their own way right now. It is all Port Jervis, both sides of the ball, and now on the specials as well. First and 10 Monticello, balls at their own 36-yard line. 6:23, Kev, 6:23 left in the second quarter. Port Jervis way ahead, 35-6. After the late arrival of the Raiders, I guess you could say it.
Yeah.
After that, it's been all Port Jervis. Monticello doesn't even want to break the huddle now.
No, and, well, I'll share an interesting story in a minute here. First down, Monticello. Panthers going left to right. 6:23 to go second quarter, 35-6. Port comfortably ahead right now. And Jackson is back out there as the Panther signal caller, flanked by a single back. And it'll be Jackson keeping himself, and he won't go far. Whoa, is it picked up as a fireman's carry by Maddox McCormick? Is that what just happened?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
that was Dolshin.
I think that was Dolshin. I wouldn't want to be picked up by that guy either. Oh gosh.
Oh, boy. Officially listed as a tackle by Carol Dolshin.
So loss of a yard to the 35. Second and 11 facing Monticello right now. The lone man in the backfield was Quentin Lisiaga for Monticello. They'll put two receivers out on the near side. Single receiver, no, check that. Two receivers out on the far side as well. Jackson will take the snap and look to throw. Throws over the middle. It's batted down.
55 right there.
That's Xavier Joseph.
That's Xavier Joseph.
Big presence in the middle of that line.
You said it earlier, Tom. Don't want to try to throw that ball over the middle with that big man there.
6'5",
oh
250,
my.
and he has quite a wingspan. That guy's arms, he puts his arm up. I don't care who you are as quarterback. You're not throwing that ball.
Want to know the best part? He's a junior.
I love it.
We got him again next year.
That's a fine talent in development there. And there's some guys out there, you know, that last year you heard their names once or twice, but this year they're being called up to step up and make some big plays. And that was a great play right there. Monticello once again just disheveled here, out of sequence, out of any kind of rhythm. In fact, they don't even know how to line up here on the spread offense.
4:50 to go and counting. Jackson's going to throw to the near side. He has it complete to Lisiaga. Lisiaga inside the 50, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Panthers. Lisiaga pretty well toasted Sidney Bakari on the near side. Explain to me maybe what he saw the defensive back, because right before the snap he sprints the opposite direction, and leaves tons of room in the flat, and that's where they hit Lisiaga.
I'll tell you right now, Kev, I wasn't really paying attention to these corners down here, but Ryan Ross just laid one of the biggest hit sticks I've seen on a quarterback.
Did he?
Yeah, he just the kid's on the sideline now. He's sitting down. He needs a Band-Aid.
For the first time since the opening kickoff, Monticello is into the end zone. A 65-yard touchdown pass from Seth Jackson to Rafael Lisiaga. 35-12, and the Panthers will go for 2. They have a pair of receivers. Lisiaga and Javian Williams are split to the near side. Quentin Lisiaga is in the backfield. Jackson's going to step up. He's hit as he throws. And is it caught?
Dropped.
Oh, he dropped it. Good effort made on the near side there by Javian Williams to try to bring that pass in. He had to come back for it.
He's banged up a little bit.
He's slow to get up. 4:34 to go, second quarter. We're back in 30 seconds with more Raider football. Port in front, 35-12 here on WDLC. It's all presented by ADAC.
Look on the streets in your neighborhood. Everybody's driving their super vehicle. It's the Milford Chrysler Sales Pre-Owned Super Sales Event. Superhuman savings. Our very best deals at our lowest finance rates. Get up to 140% of book value for your trade. And we crush bad credit. We'll work to get you approved. Hurry to Milford Chrysler Sales today on Route 6 in Milford during the Pre-Owned Super Sales Event. Oh, and please drive. Don't fly. Black book value minus 20 cents per mile. Any condition with approved credit. Offer ends August 31st. See for details.
Let's get back to Port Jervis football right here on WDLC Country.
Singity, he's enjoying it. Neil Diamond here at Gwinnett Field. 35-12, Port Jervis leads Monticello. Bucky's Taxi drive summary for the Panthers. They go 64 yards in 3 plays. The big one, the 65-yard pass just now from Seth Jackson to Rafael Lisiaga. Lisiaga has scored both of the Panther touchdowns tonight. It was a minute and 53 seconds in time of possession. Our Bucky's Taxi drive summary. Port's lead trimmed to 23. 35-12, Raiders in front. Red, white, and blue night for the students here at Gwinnett Field, and many of them taking it pretty seriously. A lot of kids, the PJYFL kids, are in their jerseys, all getting excited for Sunday. Here's a high and very short kick. It'll be fielded at the 30-yard line by Anthony Theodore, and he fair caught it at the 31. So that's where Port Jervis will take over. Plenty of time left for this quick striking offense to add to this lead, Tommy. They've done it in a number of different ways. Theodore has scored twice on the ground. Dolshin, has he scored twice on the ground? Logan scored once on the ground. Maddox, McCormick, and Morris hooked up for a score earlier. Raider offense.
A lot of offense.
Yeah.
A lot of offense. And guess what? That gas pedal is still down. 35-12. This game is far from over. And Port Jervis wants to continue to keep the pressure on Monticello. We have an official timeout on the field. Looks like maybe Port Jervis is going to burn one. They didn't have the formation they wanted. So I think Coach Straharski says, you know what? Let's get things tightened up here. Let's time out PJ.
Let's give a little reset and a reminder. Dr. John Bell, the superintendent of schools for the Port Jervis City School District, will join us at halftime. Want to remind you again that this Sunday is opening day for the Port Jervis Youth Football League. Come out to Harriet Space Park in the town of Deer Park for a triple header of action. It's the Mighty Mites at 9:30, D1 at 11, D2 at 1. They're all hosting Goshen for opening day of the 2023 PJYFL football season. We look forward to learning about all the different kids who are playing well for Port over the course of the season. Want to thank the PJYFL president, Phyllis DeGroat, and her husband Fred for helping us get that information on the air. Hopefully we'll get a chance to interview some of the kids. I also saw the Little League president, Mary Kozlowski, here. Tommy, I'm pretty excited. You talked about the the Mets before. My Rangers are doing all right, but who I'm really excited about is Noah, my son. He was going to be at the game tonight running the camera, so that's why he got sucked into that job, but he's hanging out with his buddy Jackson Gallo. They're both playing for the PJ Little League 50-70 baseball team. 5 years since he last played Little League. He's back into it. He's having an absolute blast.
Awesome. It's what youth sports is all about, having fun, having a good time, hanging out with your buddies, playing a team sport, and enjoying the camaraderie.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to bringing you PJ Little League fall ball updates over the course of the football season as well. Raiders hand off to Anthony Theodore, and all he does is break tackles. Ooh. It takes an exceptional effort from Rafael Lisiaga to bring him down. Ethan, that's something that we've seen in pretty much since Anthony got to the varsity. He doesn't have the size that his teammates have, but he is a tough customer.
Yeah, he's one of those kids where you're gonna have to wrap your arms around him, and you are going to have to bring him down yourself. You're not going to be able to let your weight do the work. You're not going to be able to let your strength do the work. You are going to have to physically bring him down yourself. And if you don't, you see plays like that, or plays like he's been making all night.
For 2nd and 1, and they'll hand off to Dolshin. Dolshin takes some hits and then just spins to the first down marker. I think, 6 kids it took to bring Carroll down. And are they going to give him the first down or not?
I don't think they're going to give it to him. I think he was a little short.
Yeah. I like the 41 there, but they don't give him anything. 3rd and a yard.
He was hit behind the line of scrimmage at least 2.5 yards. Put his shoulder down, and the problem was he was vertical. He was up. He couldn't get his shoulder down. He puts his shoulder down. Those guys are just getting pushed away.
And that was kind of the thing that he struggled with early in his varsity career. He's super talented, but couldn't master that low center of gravity. Twin backs with Logan Morris. Theodore goes in motion. Another handoff to Dolshin, and another stuck-in-the-mud moment for the junior. He goes nowhere. Monticello twice in a row able to get good penetration into the Raider backfield.
Port is week 0. Port gets a little lazy on that play. Line of scrimmage, guys standing up, kind of patting themselves on the back, and a loss of 1 on the play. Here's the situation. First, it's 4th down for Port Jervis at their own 39-yard line. Port Jervis 4th down, and they need 2 yards. You're Port Jervis here. You're not bringing that kicker out. You're going to smash this ball up there. You're going to get
they're going to quick snap. They're going to try to.
Oh, that's a scary formation.
Bully ball
Ross and McCormick right in the middle.
And it's Morris who steamrolls his way for a first down for the Raiders on the QB sneak.
Yeah, that's a terrifying thing to look at right there. Oh, my.
And that'll be a first down. They're going to move the chains. The clock will stop. 2:23 here remaining in the first half. Port Jervis up 35-12. Port Jervis definitely not sitting back here in this second quarter. They're going to want to put one in. And they have options on the ground and in the air. Clock will start now as the chains are reset. Raiders break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 42.
A little bit of confusion on the field for the Raiders right now. Noah Sotelo, he split to the far side along with Josiah Welch. Morris calls for it. Straight drop back. Good protection. Throws deep down the far side. Has Jaron Rodriguez, but it's incomplete.
That was a beautifully thrown ball.
I'm sorry, it was intended for Anthony Theodore, and he turned him around a little bit. Maybe miscommunication. What do you think?
A little bit. I think it was Anthony, right? Yeah, I think Anthony anticipated a shorter throw on that right there. That's why he slowed down a little bit because he saw. I guess what I would assume is he saw the pressure that Logan was under, and he was assuming, he's just gonna try to huck it up to me, But I think that was one of the best balls I've seen Logan Morris throw. That was a beautifully thrown ball.
It really was.
He hasn't thrown vertical down the field much tonight. Hasn't had to.
All right. A single receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side. Dolshin in the backfield with Morris. It'll be Dolshin on the carry. Stutter steps, has some room across the 45. Still going to the 50, and he reaches into Monticello territory. Very close to another Raider first down.
I think he's going to be short, guys. I think they're going to give him maybe the 50. His knee touched the 50-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark him.
I don't know if you guys are as impressed as I am, but the way he shifts his feet, the way he moves side to side.
Big boy, 6'3", 242.
You don't see kids even 150 pounds doing that.
Oh, and he just shoulders a defender inside the 45. The brute strength on this roster is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary between McCormick, Dolshin, and Ross themselves. I mean, that's not even counting Chris Hicks, not even counting Johnny Fuller, not even counting half of them. And this roster looks great.
Back-to-back 8-yard pickups and whistles will stop this play before it can start. Morris had an empty backfield. Port. Oh, and a late flag.
Oh, this is not a good one here.
That looks like it was on McCormick.
I think that Tobias Brown for Monticello.
A little personal foul.
Yeah, he's going to go to the sidelines. I think he had something to say to the referee, and I don't think the ref liked that at all.
1:17 to go before halftime, 35-12 Port. Raiders trying to tack on before the break. Speaking of the break, we will have John Bell, Dr. John Bell, Superintendent of Schools here from joining us. It's a false start against the Raiders. And then, on top of that, personal foul. Oh, against Port. Eek.
Oh,
what do you got,
terrible. Oh, I just wanted to give a quick shout-out to my uncle listening up in Shaholo, KJ. I really appreciate the support listening all the way up there.
So here's what's going to happen. This is going to be 20 yards, guys, because the dead ball was after the play.
Yeah, that's a big penalty for Port right there.
So it's going to be first down for Port. Ball's going to be moved all the way back to their own 38-yard line.
But, I mean, we know what happened on that first drive. They were set back 15 yards, and they made it look like nothing. Made it look like they weren't even set back 15 yards.
Well, they have the talent back at their own 38-yard line now.
Oh, so somebody said something on the Raiders side. No good out on that field.
Well, you got McCormick and Theodore in the slot. Morris has some room. Bubble screen. What a catch by Dolshin. He is at the 50. Cuts back to the 45. Patiently running to the 40-yard line.
Let's talk about that blocking downfield by those wide receivers. I mean, Anthony Theodore and Josiah Welsh, they were holding their blocks that whole entire time before Dolshin even got the ball. I mean, that is what Frank Theodore tries to implement to these kids is like, you have to block. If you block as a wide receiver and a ball springs to the outside, that's almost a guaranteed 15, 20 yards every time. Especially, all you have to do is get in front of somebody, and that's exactly what they did right there, and we saw the outcome.
And we've been talking about some of the missteps in a week 0 situation. You got to be really encouraged to see that kind of execution this early in the season.
Definitely, especially seeing it this early in the season. I mean, that's something you don't really develop, or the team doesn't really understand it until later in the season when they're like, oh wow, these outside runs, if we just put our hands in front of a guy, that'll give the extra 5-10 yard boost, and that's exactly what it did right there. I mean, Anthony Theodore hit that cornerback, came back, and then hit the other cornerback. I mean, it's exactly what you look for out of your wide receivers.
And throw into the mix Big Carol Dolshin with great footwork, but how about the soft hands? How about the soft hands? I got to tip that to myself a little bit.
That reminded me of the catch he made in the Pleasantville game, in the playoff game, as a freshman.
Yep.
And I think it was a 4th down.
Yep,
it was
a 4th down.
Ludicrous play for a freshman to make in a big spot like that, and he did it. To have the poise and
Well, we've seen over the last 5 years, young players for the Raiders come up with enormously huge plays, 4th down when they matter the most. Sometimes I think, you know what? They don't know any better. They don't understand the moment when they're that young. They're like, I just got to go out. Coach told me to make the catch. Okay, I'll go make the catch.
I'll tell you what, that depth of experience, too, because you mentioned all the kids getting that varsity experience early, that's really paying off so far in this game for Port. It is 2nd and 8 for the Raiders at the Monticello 42-yard line. Morris will take the snap out of the shotgun, waits, throws it over the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off, and that's Rafael Lisiaga across the 50, 45, 40, and he is wrestled down on the far side of the field by Xavier Joseph for the Raiders. Logan saw something, and one thing that we've seen a couple times, it appears there's a little bit of miscommunication between maybe Logan and his receivers with where they're supposed to be on their routes. Because and you tell me if I'm wrong, the way Logan's throwing the ball, he knows what he wants to do with it.
Yeah,
his receivers aren't always there.
Yeah, it looks like Logan does. I mean, he's a quarterback; he needs to. But Logan knows these plays, and the way he's throwing these balls. I mean, you can see if the wide receiver is running the right route, half these balls are getting caught.
So it is a first down for Monticello at the Port Jervis 39-yard line. 43 seconds to go before halftime after that interception return. And instead of Port able to tack onto the lead, now Monticello has a chance here to chip into it.
Not only that, but that Lady Mo momentum. Monticello, if they were to score here, that takes some of the shine off the first half that the Raiders have put up on this field. And that's going to make Port think a little bit more. Remember, Port Jervis gets the ball to start the second half, and I'm sure Coach Straharski is well aware of that.
First down, Monticello at Port's 39-yard line. Left to right, the Panthers go. Inside of 45 seconds to play before halftime. Jackson swings it out to Lisiaga. Lisiaga tries to shoulder shimmy and shake the defender, and he does until the very end, but a nice tackle made for Port Jervis by Elijah Campbell. Yeah, well, he didn't get called for it. So
yeah, that was
a nice break for the Raiders.
That was
an 8-yard
big
pickup
break for the Raiders right there.
But see, this is where Monticello calling those early timeouts really hurts them. They can't stop the clock.
They can't stop the clock at all.
Well, they can, but they'll lose it down.
They're going to lose it down.
It's the only option they have, and I don't even think they can figure that out.
And here comes the pressure from Figueroa. Jackson's able to get it off. It's incomplete. That'll help. That'll stop the clock
for him.
3rd and 1.
But boy, how about Figueroa coming all the way from the other side of the field to chase down Jackson?
I bet that quarterback heard those footsteps. He was like, I got to get rid of this.
Absolutely. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Monticello from Port's 31-yard line.
All right. The uniform, the numbers. Figueroa, 56 on offense as a lineman, right?
Yes.
But he has to go to 44 on defense. He can be 56 on defense.
Yeah, he can be 56 on defense.
He just likes that 44.
Yeah.
Well, I think he told me, too,
and guess what?
one of them's bigger, right? Like, one of the jerseys is bigger because of the pads he has to wear?
Let me tell you something. There's nothing. That's a big kid. If that jersey's big, one of them's got to be like a double X. That's a big dude out there. They got him listed 6 foot 210. That kid's a rock. I got to tell you, we talked to him this week during the end of week 0 practice. What a nice young guy. Happy-go-lucky, very excited to be back. Broke his ankle last year, we know, and he's just very grateful to be here and humble about it.
So this will be the last play of the first half. Port leads 35-12. They're looking to keep it that way as they play deep in the secondary. If you look back there, we see
where's that big kid?
Josiah Welch is back deep as a safety, along with Anthony Theodore.
Boy, there's a lot of. They got a game reset the clock to 8 seconds, so that's the delay on the field.
Oh yeah, because it was an incomplete pass last play. Something happened with the clock running.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
All right, and now the clock starts running again.
And now it stops.
And the umpire can see the frustration. You can see the frustration, and it's not easy.
No,
not easy at all, but the game reset is this. There's 8 seconds left. Monticello has the ball. It's 3rd down at about the Port Jervis 30-yard line. All things considered, this could be the last play of the first half. And for Port Jervis, the defense is going to be asked to come up big. You want to play a little prevent, but you don't want to drop all the way back. You still want to cover these guys. You don't want to give them the chance to catch the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you have 30 yards to the end zone, and it looks like the safeties are given about a 15, 20-yard cushion. So, I mean, these corners, they need to stay home. I mean, I think Monticello here is going to try to go with like a little screen pass and try to mix things up and try to confuse Port's defense. But as long as these corners stay home and these safeties cover their deep zones.
I'm Seth Jackson. I'm the quarterback for Monticello. The last thing I want the coach to call is a screen. That offensive line hasn't done much, just a regular pass block.
Oh, I'm just talking like a nice screen to a nice little bubble screen, to the outside.
You make it sound so easy, E. I love it.
All right, here we go again. 3rd down for Monticello. 8 seconds on the clock. Likely the last play of the first half. 35-12 Port leads. Jackson rolls to his left. He's going to throw into the flat. It's incomplete. It will stop the clock. Quentin Lisiaga, so they'll get one more play.
By the way, E made it sound so easy. He also made it sound so correct.
Thanks, Tom.
The guy knows football. There's no debating that.
Well, we don't even have a lot of heavy gear, so we can't even say that we brought E on board to carry the heavy gear, but we brought him on for the football smarts. And obviously he's got it. So it's going to be 4th down now for Monticello. Ball's at their own 30-31. I'm giving them the 31. We said it once, we'll say it again. This could be the last play of the game, or the half at least. Should be.
35-12 Port Jervis in front. Defense in the aforementioned prevent. Monticello empty backfield. Jackson to throw towards the end zone, and it's caught. Is it caught?
No, he dropped it.
He dropped it. Boy, a golden opportunity for the Monticello receiver, because Port's defensive back came up. Fergus tried to pick that ball off and missed it. And right there was Xavion Mitchell to try to grab it. He couldn't, and the first half comes to an end. Port 35, Monticello 12. We're going to send it back to our studio for a break. When we get back, Dr. John Bell joining us here on the halftime show. You're listening to live coverage of Port Jervis High School football here on Country 95.3 and 107.7 WDLC. It's all made possible by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can support the small businesses that are dreaming big. Together, we can help families spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before. Learn more about M&T's commitment to the people, businesses, and community organizations we serve at mtb.com/togetherwecan or stop by any local M&T Bank branch. Member FDIC.
Yard by yard, Raiders football is live on WDLC Country.
Alongside Tom Faggione and Ethan McElroy, I'm Kevin Halpenny. Zach Smith is in our WDLC radio studios. It is 35-12, Port Jervis leading Monticello at the half. We are hoping to have a conversation with Dr. John Bell. He's the superintendent of schools for the Port Jervis City School District. Of course, they have a monster project going on right now, renovating what was the Port Jervis Middle School, and even before that was the Port Jervis High School, and eventually will become ASK Elementary School. And then, of course, there are some renovations coming to this facility here at Gwinnett Field and a number of the athletic facilities in the Port Jervis City School District. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him. We'll try to get you an updated Withrow Law out-of-town scoreboard. The only score that we know of right now, we have a final score from Warwick. The Wildcats defeat Binghamton 27-16. They hold on. They were up 27-8 in the fourth quarter. And then Binghamton tried to storm back. Warwick holds them off and wins their season opener Week 0 game 27-16 over Section 4's Binghamton. The other games that were on the out-of-town or on the Section 9 schedule here for Week 0, Mayo Pack visiting Goshen. That's a Section 1, Section 9 matchup. Our Lady of Lourdes was hosting Spackenkill. FDR was on the road to take on a Section 1 opponent in John Jay. On the other side of the river, Delaware Valley home to take on Harrisburg tonight, hoping to get a score update from that game. And then there's a good slate of games tomorrow. Cornwall is visiting Colony out of Section 2 at 12:30 p.m. 1 o'clock kickoffs for Liberty at Highland, Marlboro at Saugerties, Beacon hosting Red Hook, and Monroe Woodbury hosting Section 1's North Rockland. Kingston is at 1 o'clock on the road at Cardinal Spellman. 2 o'clock kickoff for Washingtonville at Poughkeepsie. 5 o'clock, O'Neill goes to Section 2 to take on Ravenna, Coyman, Selkirk. And then 7 o'clock tomorrow night, it'll be New Paltz at Wallkill. On Sunday here in Port Jervis at Harriet Space Park, it will be opening day for the Port Jervis Youth Football League. Mighty Mites Division 1 and Division 2 all taking on Goshen. It'll be Mighty Mites at 9:30, D1 at 11 o'clock, and then D2 at 1 o'clock. That's our Withrow Law out-of-town scoreboard. Next week, we'll be talking about fall ball for the Port Jervis Little League. Excited to talk about that as well. We're going to send it back to the studio for a commercial break. When we get back, Dr. John Bell joins us here on the halftime show. Port 35, Monticello 12 at the break. More Raider football coming your way after this here on WDLC Port Jervis, presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
The Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County is a nonprofit organization dedicated to addressing the use of alcohol and other drugs by providing prevention education at schools and in the community. ADOC offers support services for individuals and families experiencing the negative effects of substance use. Substance use disorder knows no barriers. It could impact anyone, but it can be prevented through community support, education, and communication. If you or someone you know needs help, please reach out. Learn more by visiting adocinfo.com.
Hi everyone, this is David Bavoso from Bavoso & Plotsky, your neighborhood law firm. We're excited to see you back and ready for another great season. Bavoso & Plotsky continues to be here, ready to support the community and to assist with the legal needs of those that call this community home. Ranging from real estate to criminal law, family law to wills, trusts, and estates, we have the experience and the know-how to help you. If you should ever need us, please don't hesitate to call or email. Thank you and enjoy the game.
For more information on Bavoso and Plotsky, go to PortJervisLawyers.com.
The clock is ticking and the payments are busting. Milford Chrysler Sales is giving you 72 hours to save like never before. During the Payment Busters 72-hour sales event, you can lower your payments, lower your financing, and restart your warranty. Hurry, you've only got 72 hours. Get to Milford Chrysler Sales on Route 6 in Milford because the clock is ticking. Online at MilfordChryslerSales.com. Limited time offer with approved credit. See dealer for complete details.
Neversink Lumber. We're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore at Neversink Lumber, 95 Jersey Avenue, Port Jervis, or online at neversinklumber.net.
This is Port Jervis High School football on WDLC Country.
It is halftime here at Glenette Field, and it is Port Jervis in front of Monticello by a score of 35-12. We are very excited to welcome to the halftime show Dr. John Bell, Superintendent of Schools here in the Port Jervis City School District. John, we talked to you about a year ago, Week 0, 2022, Port Bronxville, and you had quite a bit planned for the district. A lot of projects were in motion then. It hasn't got any less busy, it seems. What's happening?
No, it's been very busy, and thanks to the voters back in the spring, the great news is Chase Field and Glenette Field both are getting new LED lights, turf, big Daktronic scoreboard, similar like you saw at Middletown, and then Chase Field's also getting a new track. So
wow,
times are really great for the athletic department.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, how do the wheels get in motion for something like that? How do you guys make a choice? There's obviously a lot of different places you'd probably love to renovate in the entire district. What's the process like of choosing those areas?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, in New York State, every school district has to do a building condition survey every 5 years to identify all things that might need attention, whether it's roofs, windows, boilers, what have you. And then there's also the things that you want to do to simply upgrade your facilities to stay competitive. And that's your auditorium, your music rooms, having a first-class library, having athletic facilities, your gym. All that stuff is stuff that you want to keep up with the Joneses and have the best things for our kids, not just go to everywhere else and say, how come we don't have this stuff?
Right. I know my wife is excited to hear about the improvements in the auditorium and the music rooms. You mentioned buildings. The building here, former high school, then middle school. Yeah. It's going to be ASK, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
This is a pretty monstrous project. It looks, like that thing got totally gutted. You could see over time. It's a slow process, but it is progress. It's really cool to see the new windows, the new wing of the building that's been built. Tell us kind of where we're at on this part of the project.
Yeah, and everybody who's around town knows that the struggle or the conversation all the years was, do we renovate that old building or do we build a new one? And really, and no credit to me, it was planned before I got here, so I give credit to everybody before me, but it's the best of both worlds, because what you have is we've kept the beautiful architecture on the outside, the brick and all the big pillars and everything and the cupola, but inside it's going to be a brand new school. Every single wall inside the school was removed and has been rebuilt. And now when you go in the building at this time, I was just there this week, all the new classroom walls, every classroom was gone. I mean, you could see from the gym all the way to the auditorium at the other end of the school,
right,
because all it was left were the steel beams. And then none of the class sizes were large enough according to state ed regulations. So literally we gutted the entire place, took all the side walls between room 201 and 202 and et cetera, and rebuilt the whole school with classrooms big enough to meet the requirements. And then the addition that you see when you drive by on the left-hand side, that's about another 40% of the size of the original building. So we're adding another 40%, and that's to address some of the issues that in 1922 they didn't think about. They had a real little gym. The cafeteria was on the third floor. The office was on the second floor, believe it or not. This day and age with school security, you can't imagine not having the office at the front door. And so the cafeteria, there's a stage, there's a main office, there's locker rooms, and a full-size gym, competition gym, all in that new wing on the left-hand side.
So I got to ask you, you've been in education for a long time. Have you ever been a part of a project that massive?
I've been in some big projects, and I think this project now will push me over about $250 million in projects I've done between Neversink, Port, and DV. But I've never taken on anything like a 100-year-old building.
Right.
So, and just like when you buy an old house, every time you open a wall, you find something you didn't expect. And that's what happened here. We didn't know that was a chase leading to the third third floor. We didn't know there was asbestos here. So that's why it started so slow, because there was so much work that had to be done in the demo phase. Now demo is over and we're in the reconstruction phase. And literally all the classrooms are already shaped out, doors, block walls, everything, windows, with the exception of where the gym used to be and where the auditorium used to be on the end. So everything in the middle is I won't say done, but at least the block walls are up, the ductwork is up, they're running the electric. But the challenge is both the gym and the auditorium had balconies. And they were enclosed many, many years ago. But trying to get those balconies out has been the ultimate challenge. How do you get the balcony off the second floor and still support the third floor above it?
Right.
So there's all kinds of shoring that had to go up, but lots of construction stuff, not to bore you, but that has been the big challenge. So now we're at the point where we're ready to take the balconies down, and then the gym will become 8 classrooms. 4 on the first floor and 4 on a new second floor that we built halfway up the gym wall.
Wow.
And then the auditorium, same thing. 4 classrooms downstairs and 4 classrooms up where the balcony used to be.
Okay.
So it was a monstrous project, but we're at the point now where you can see the end. You can see the end. We're going to get there.
Awesome. Yeah, I think they call that repurposing nowadays,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So let's. You were down on the field. What's the atmosphere like tonight here at Gwinnett?
It's a great night. Even though school hasn't started, it's been a lot of fun to see all the kids here and hanging out with their friends, and everybody's having a good time, and there's no issues. So it's been a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, this is even though the score is a little wide, it seems like on any play, Monticello could come up with something. So you got to stay on your toes. Meanwhile, we're grinding it out, and they can't stop us running the ball. So it's great.
So school starts next week. What should parents in the community expect? What are some of the changes this year or the plans for the district this year?
Yeah, in terms of structure, it's much like last year where we're hiding the 7th and 8th graders in ASK and the high school. We'll be doing that again this year. We have a new bus company called We Transport out of Long Island, and it's really cool. They have a lot of high-tech stuff. There's Samsung tablets in every bus, so if there's a substitute bus driver, there's turn-by-turn navigation so the subs know where to go. There's a new app coming out called Where's My Kid, so you can track where your kid is on the bus. You'll know if the bus is behind schedule or if they're on schedule, if they're coming, at the bus stop at the appropriate time, which will be real convenient for parents who are killing themselves trying to get from work or wherever to get to that bus stop in time. So we're excited about the new bus company and what they bring. They're a top-notch firm from Long Island, and they've been branching out in Hudson Valley, so we're really glad that we found them. So.
Yeah, technology just keeps improving, keeps becoming more of a part of education. Now it's in the buses.
Yeah.
So what are you looking most forward to the school year starting this week?
Well, I'm looking forward to not having to move any grades this year. It's nice that we'll just, even though we're crowded, we're going to stay status quo.
Okay.
And, of course, the plan is that there was a lot of talk about what grades might move into the old middle school. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to stay put this year, and we'll just open that school in September of next year. So everybody won't have to move in the middle of the year or 3/4 of the way through the year. We'll stay put, and then ASK will move in the summer over to the old middle school property here on East Main Street, and then middle school will occupy ASK, and it'll be a smooth. But we have phases 2 and phases 3 of the construction starting in the spring. Phase 2 is all the renovations that have to happen in ASK to turn it into a middle school.
Okay.
Like tech ed wood shop, home ec rooms, new art room with a kiln. All that stuff has to happen next summer, I should say, to have it ready to become a middle school in September of 2024. The high school is going to get a ton of rooms back because ASK has stolen rooms from the high school for probably 2 decades. They're getting all those rooms back, and all the rooms that the middle school's in, the high school is going to get back. So the high school has been really crammed with 2 and 3 teacher desks in a room. Yeah. Now most people are going to get their own room a year from now, so we can really spread our wings and everybody can settle in. So.
Well, John, it sounds like there's a lesson there for sports, football, and for life, which is kind of what we're trying to do, right? Get the kids ready for life. The work never ends.
That's right.
There's always work to do.
That's right.
John, thanks for giving us some of your time. It was great to talk to you. And enjoy the rest of the game.
Thanks, Kevin. My pleasure.
Absolutely. John Bell, Dr. John Bell, Superintendent of Schools here at Port Jervis City School District, joining us here at halftime, where Port Jervis leads Monticello 35-12. We'll send it back to the studio for one last break and get you ready for the second half of action here in Port Jervis. You're listening to live coverage of Raider football on WDLC, presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
September is National Recovery Month. ADAC's Justice Involved Peer provides support to individuals experiencing negative legal consequences due to their substance use. The Justice Involved Peer will help navigate the justice system and support recovery at the same time. They help with establishing recovery support in the community, job readiness skills, and healthy coping skills. The Justice Involved Peer works with individuals one-on-one and in weekly support groups. For more information, visit adacinfo.com.
Planning a service is a difficult time. Gray Parker Funeral Home will help make this difficult time a special one with a range of services to help fit your needs and every opportunity to make the moment one to remember. Gray Parker Funeral Home is a family-owned and operated business serving our community since 1924, located at 100 East Main Street, Port Jervis. For more information, go to grayparkerfuneralhome.com or call 845-856-5191. Gray Parker Funeral Home is a proud supporter of the Soapbox Derby and would like to wish all the drivers good luck.
We're going back to the field for more Port Jervis football, only on WDLC Country.
And how about an opening kick return for the Raiders? 20-10, touchdown Port Jervis.
Got it right back there, Kev. Got it right back.
Oh, no. No, they say he's out short of the goal line.
No way. He reached.
Theodore on the return for Port Jervis. We thought it was going to be a mirror image of the opening kick of the game, and they say he goes out of bounds.
The ball popped out because he hit the pylon. That doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, and people in the crowd
exactly.
recognize
Hit
the
the
same
pylon
thing.
with the ball. I thought that's a touchdown.
Oh, man. All right, well, so the score holds at 35-12. Third quarter underway here at Gwinnett. Welcome aboard. Exciting start. Masters Pest Control making our third quarter possible. Well, it'll be first and goal from about 3 feet away, E. I wonder what they're going to do. Who might they give the ball to on this play? Try to see who's in the backfield. Oh, there's 30, Carol Dolshin. Are they going to try some trickery?
Oh, 5 deserves
they're going to give it to Anthony. Yeah, absolutely, Tommy. I love the approach. He lowers the shoulder, spills in, and he is in for the touchdown. So they rob him of it on the kickoff return, and he just takes it right back. 1 yard touchdown run for Anthony Theodore to open the third quarter of action here. At Field, Port's lead is 41-12.
Kevin, great interview with Dr. Bell at halftime. I was crunching the numbers. The first half for Anthony Theodore, 7 carries, 97 yards, a pair of touchdowns. So he started things off on the right foot here in the second half.
All right, Alexa Bennett's ensuing extra point is good, and it's 42-12 in favor of Port Jervis. We're going to keep it here. We're just trying to collect our thoughts here. Tommy, we've been talking about some bizarre Buc-ee's taxi drive summaries. How about this one? 1 play, 1 yard, 23 seconds. I don't remember the last time we had a 1 play, 1 yard scoring drive.
That's pretty awesome. That is, Theodore set himself up so well. And hats off to the coaching staff for knowing what to do by picking 5 for the touchdown. And I'll tell you what, that was a tough 1 yard he got there. He kind of bellied it out to the right a little bit, but Theodore did a great job. Kevin broke down some halftime stats. Want to throw them your way. But the one thing I want to say, as the Port defense is getting set to come out here upon this kickoff for the Raiders, Port's defense, their run stop tonight in the first half is one of the most dominating performances I think you and I have been witness to. Kev, we've been doing this for a couple of years, my friend.
Dude, you're not kidding. You see something different all the time, you know? Sometimes the scores are the same, but you usually see something different. Witherell Law out-of-town scoreboard updates. These come courtesy of Chris Conklin. Goshen trailing Mahopac 24-0 at the half. Newburgh beat New Rochelle tonight 28-6. Chris, thanks for that.
Lisiaga to receive.
And Port Jervis will now kick it away.
Oh, my God. My math is so bad, Kevin. I can't believe I'm using a pen. We got some stats that we're going to add up in a minute.
Squiver, that ball's loose. The Raiders are in good position to recover it, but they don't. I think Monticello was able to jump on it at the last minute.
Well, there was a lot of green grass over there, but that ball just kept rolling the wrong way. I think for Young, he wanted the ball to roll left, and he just kept rolling straight.
But it's and a lot of black jerseys, too, Tommy.
Yeah. You got Figueroa out there. He's a big boy. He's quick, but maybe if he was one step a little quicker, he could have recovered that. But it's going to be first down for Monticello now. They're going to mark the ball at their 43. Even Brian Rollman agrees.
Yes.
First and 10 at the 43. 11:37. The clock didn't start on that as the ball was whistled dead. Boy, this Monticello offense, Kev, first half, could not do anything on the ground. Their only success, their only hope was in the air. And the Raiders defense up to the charge. Raiders break the huddle, and the defense stretching things out. One of the threads in the email group to the players this week was to remain hydrated tonight as to not cramp up. You see the defensive players stretching out their quads, stretching out their hammies. Want to stay loose out there.
Monticello will work right to left in our third quarter, 42-12. Port Jervis leads by 30. And the Panthers have the ball. Between the hash marks, here's a deep pitch into the backfield. That one.
That's Quentin.
Yep, Quentin Luciaga on the carry for the Panthers. Not much there for him.
Luciaga in the first half, 3 carries, minus 16 yards on the ground for Luciaga. But here's the stat for Monticello. Seth Jackson, quarterback, 6 carries, minus 24 yards. That Port defense just all over the place, run stopping. That time Luciaga loss on the play. Ball's going to be marked. I'm going to give them a loss of 2 to the 40.
One of the elements about this matchup that I wanted to talk about and kind of got lost in all the mayhem of the first half because there was quite a bit of scoring and a lot of action. Second and 11 for Monticello at their own 41-yard line. Jackson in the backfield. I'll finish my thought in a moment. Luciaga.
Wait, Monticello just can't even get set.
No, the receivers weren't ready at all, and now they blow the whistles. It looks like they are going to call some kind of procedure penalty. Yep, it's a false start. So we roll in tonight, and J.J. Gass is the new athletic director here at Port Jervis, and he tells me the athletic director at Monticello, they used to...
Jasper.
Yeah, Jasper used to team together at Eldred. They're both from Eldred.
Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a healthy competition here now that the two guys are directing athletics at different schools, and now those schools are meeting each other on the football field. 2nd and 16 facing Monticello. Jackson wants to throw. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down by a trio of Raider defenders led by Carol Dolshin, and was that Chris Hicks?
It was Hicks. Yeah, Hicks initially wrapped him up, and then Dolshin came in.
The thing is, Chris wears 50, but he's got that long hair that blocks the numbers.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so it'll be 3rd and quite a bit here as they're going to lose 4.
Hicks talked to Chris Hicks prior to the season in his working out or during the offseason. This guy's carefree, very focused about football. But I tell you what, nice young man who just takes it at ease and a good guy to talk to. And you can tell in the way he plays, he's very serious to his approach, but he also knows how much fun high school football is. It's a good balance for a player there, and he dominates both sides of the ball.
9:31 to go here, rolling in our Masters Pest Control third quarter. Port Jervis in front 42-12 over Monticello. They'll play Beacon next week. Here comes some pressure. The throw is across the middle, and it is incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended target, Xavier Mitchell. Not a bad throw, but Mitchell just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, I mean, and Rodriguez on that play, he was given about like a 10 to 12-yard cushion on that play. So I mean that slant was wide open. I mean, if he caught it, that's a good 15-yard gain.
And that play, the ball was behind the receiver, and as a linebacker, when that ball is behind the receiver, not much. You got to be a really good receiver to be able to turn the hips and get that ball back to you.
Bring yourself back. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to do. I mean, you see NFL guys not even being able to make those catches,
So 4th down, Monticello will be forced to punt again. We haven't seen many of those in this game. There's been a lot of turnovers.
Late player.
Long plays. Yeah. A lot of late guys running out to the field, Tommy.
Julio Santiago there, the right guard. Kind of need one of those guys for the punt.
That would be useful.
Low snap, low punt. It'll roll inside the Port 40, be picked up by Anthony Theodore.
No.
That's
Check out Jaron Rodriguez on the return, and he takes it across the 50 to about the Monticello 40-yard line.
Smart of Rodriguez right there, running along his own home sideline, and just to get out of bounds and don't take an unnecessary hit. You know, that's something that kids start to learn and start to pick up. It's like those hits right there. That's something you don't need those extra 2 yards right there. You know, you go out of bounds and you save yourself for the next drive, because as we've seen all night, Jaron is one of Logan's #1 receivers. So I mean, why give yourself up like that? And it's very smart by Jaron doing that.
The game through E's eyes. Brilliant point, E. Love it. First down, Port Jervis at the Monticello 41-yard line. Clock begins to roll as we approach 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Raiders in front by 30. Logan Morris is in the shotgun. Theodore deep behind him, and Dolshin to his left. He'll call for the snap and take it chest high, hand it off to Theodore, who gets hit immediately and then keeps on going as he drags Arturo Benedicto a couple of yards.
Boy, how about that? I mean, that's a loss on the play, and Theodore finds a way to get a yard.
Actually, Tommy, I think he got... Oh, yeah, he did. He did get a yard.
He did get a yard back.
2nd and 9 for Monticello, or for Port from the Monticello 41. So I guess the previous drive started at the 42.
I guess
the previous play. Boy, gotta shake off the rust here tonight, fellas.
Week 0.
Morris out of the shotgun again. Dolshin to his right. He'll give it to Theodore. Theodore straight up the gut.
Oh, my.
Slithers through a hole. 30, 25, 20. Turns on the Jets, and he's wrapped up and tackled out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
Dude, I feel like with Anthony, that's the perfect type of run play to run. You know, he can run those 32s and just run right up the middle and not even get touched. He's that small and like that compact. He just
great blocks at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And guess what? They don't have to make a big hole for a kid that size.
They don't. Exactly. All he needs is basically one of our feet to get through. You know.
First and goal to go for the Raiders from the Monticello 10. Clock rolling, 6:47 left in the third quarter. 42-12, Raiders in front. Morris out of the shotgun, takes the snap, throws it quickly in the flat to Maddox McCormick. Flag coming. McCormick will walk into the end zone, and another flag comes out very late. I can't even fathom what the last flag was for, because there was nobody near each other, so there couldn't be any contact.
It's Davian Joseph, who I think is going to get called with a face mask. And I don't think he's happy about it. And I think that might be, hopefully, all we got is the one penalty. And, you know, you got to keep your mouth. I mean, I'm not saying that there was something said there, but we've seen it earlier. There were some personal fouls, dead ball penalties. Just keep that, you know, listen, you get a penalty, you just got to shake it off and bounce back. But there's a penalty deep in the end zone and one at the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to mark the one off at the line of scrimmage first. It's going to be the face mask.
So the Raiders will be pushed back, and the Maddox. Oh no, they do. Tommy, they do throw the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on him. A double penalty. The second time tonight the Raiders have been penalized twice on the same play. 6:34 to go.
Originally, that play was. That's negated by the penalty, so it's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Yikes! Back to the 40.
And that's first and goal from the 40. So that's two 15-yard penalties.
First and goal from the 40. We're seeing a lot of new things tonight, Tommy. A lot of new things in week 0. We had a 1-yard scoring drive. We have now first and goal from the 40.
The defensive line taking knees on the field. That's new.
See what the Raiders can cook up here. Straight drop back from Morris. He wants it all on the first play to Jaron Rodriguez. It's tipped away. Tight coverage down the field for Monticello by Javian Williams. A lot of contact.
Yeah, that was there was a lot of contact. Jaron was like almost unable to get his left arm up. I mean, the way Jaron just came up for that ball is like he tried like heck to bring that left arm up, but it's like that was a pass interference. I mean, the ref missed it, but that was a blatant pass interference. He couldn't even bring his left arm up.
Well, some of the bleacher referees are in mid-season form here.
Yeah, we love those bleacher referees.
Oh, man, I wish I was in midseason form. Second and goal for the Raiders from the Monticello 40. Bubble screen, incomplete. Another flag is down. The pass was intended for Maddox McCormick. He was tangled up with the 9 on the other side, Xavier Mitchell.
I think it's a hold. Yeah.
It is. And so it's going to be a longer goal to go.
This is insane.
Get out your record books, folks.
Yeah, I've never seen something like this.
Now, not only this, but that's a spot foul.
Yeah,
that's going to be spotted at, the flag is at, Kevin, help me.
The 47.
46 and a half?
That's where it is right now, yeah. I call it almost the 48.
So they're going to have a first and goal on the other side of the 50.
Yes.
First and goal.
I think second and goal, right? Because they didn't throw the flag
Check
on
that
the
second and goal.
pass.
You're right. You're right.
5:49 to go in an absolutely bonkers third quarter, presented by Masters Pest Control. All right, so they're going to put the football at the 50-yard line.
That's a weird spot.
Well, what they did was they marked it from the line of scrimmage because the line of scrimmage was.
Oh, well, but that is a spot foul, though, right?
Yeah, it should be. Behind the line of scrimmage, it should be.
We'll take it.
Empty backfield. Morris throws quickly to Theodore. He caught it.
Great catch.
Inside the 40-yard line. It's a modest gain. A tough hit on Anthony Theodore, and he is down. Oh, boy.
He took it right on the lower or the thigh.
Yeah.
So you hope maybe it's just a Charlie horse.
This little dead leg.
Yep. 5:35 to go, third quarter. 42-12. Port Jervis is in front of Monticello. Anthony Theodore, catch of about 12 yards, maybe 13. And he sees him holding his knee, and boy, that's not what you want to see.
He looks like he's in excruciating pain right now.
Such a tough player. Runs strong. Never does he ever not give 100% on any little play.
And look at what he's doing just to, I thought he was going to get up on his own 2 feet here.
Boy.
Just,
remember,
by
we
the way,
saw him. He got chipped up. Was it last season? He got chipped up a little bit. He missed some games early on. Looks like they're looking at his right leg. It looks like the trainer's looking at his knee, but maybe above his knee, and they're going to get him up. So I think he took a Charlie horse. Because they're not picking him up if he has a knee injury, but he is not putting any weight on his right leg right now as he's coming to the sidelines.
Oh, nice.
And there we go. Now he's slowly getting some weight on that. So maybe he took a Charlie horse.
Well,
again,
Tom,
if it's a knee injury, you're not moving a kid like that. You're going to immobilize him.
Yeah, you're going to immobilize that right away.
Yeah, so he's actually getting that knee swinging about. I mean, the helmet, the shoulder pad from the defender was right there in the leg area.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bad hit or a dirty hit or anything.
No.
But trainer's going to attend to him on the sidelines. It's going to be third down and goal for the Raiders. Ball's going to be marked at the Monticello.
Call it 38.
38. Pickup of a dozen. But one of the things Coach Straharski talked to him this week about the game, talked about the season, and he said he had this like kid's look on his face, so excited. He said, "Man, if we stay healthy, we could be real good."
That's the big if. We all talked about it too, guys.
As I say,
during the week.
Yep, we had a conversation about that too, Kev.
Short roster, not a lot of depth. Morris wants to throw, tripped up, steps up on the sideline, is going to be forced out. Probably no gain after everything is said and done, and it's going to be fourth and goal.
What do you think they do here? You think they punt it?
No way. I think you go for it.
No way. There's no punting tonight for the Raiders.
Guys, it's fourth and 40.
Essentially.
But you noticed that in the first half, Monticello's only success was in the air, and they had only a few big plays passing, 170 total yards of passing, minus 40 yards on the ground. Monticello's offense is most ineffective. Port's defense, unbelievably strong tonight. So if you're Port Jervis, no thought of punting.
Nope, they're going trips to the near side. That includes McCormick, Welch, and Rodriguez. A single receiver to the far side of the field. Is that Johnny Fuller? That's where they want to throw. And they miss him. It's incomplete, and the Raiders will turn it over on downs.
Fuller was wide open on that play.
Yes, he was.
He beat that corner inside so quick.
Here's the thing, though. He's wide open, but he's got to get 34 more yards to get to the end zone.
That's a fair point.
That is a very fair point there, Tom.
Well, the Raiders have been in command for the majority tonight. They lead it by 30 right now, 4:44 to play in the Masters Pest Control third quarter. Next week, the Raiders are playing home on Friday night again when they welcome the Beacon Bulldogs. Thursday night for the Bell game, September 14th, 6 p.m. kickoff here at Gwinnett. And then the Raiders finally hit the road on Friday, September 22nd when they play Neversink. And then they're right back here at home on the 29th. And I want to say,
September 22nd.
yes.
Port brings the house.
And it's an incomplete pass intended on the near side for Quentin Lisiaga.
One thing I got to comment, and I'm not questioning the defensive motives here, but Ethan mentioned it early in the second quarter. A lot of cushion from the secondary, the Raiders. A lot of cushion. And I think if you're the Raiders right now, you want to just keep the pressure on these guys. Now, that being said, Monticello has picked apart the secondary, the Port Jervis, coming into it at halftime. Monticello was 6 of 14 in the air for 170 yards, including a big touchdown.
And I mean, Tom, a couple of those passes came off of the cushion being given. I mean, now you see Jaron taking a couple steps up now.
Jackson's going to throw again. He's in trouble. He's wrapped up. He gets out of trouble and then runs into more of it because there's about 6 black jerseys behind the line of scrimmage.
And he may have made one past the line.
Xavier Joseph in on the hit.
Ross on the bottom. That's not something we are uncommon of seeing, is number 34 coming up out of the pile. This kid's just been a dominating factor at the linebacker position. We'll give Jackson 1 on the carry. He'll get to the 39. Third down now for Monticello. And, you know, the mood of this game, and you can feel it. It's just been a little malaise here in this third quarter. Port kind of out of sync a little bit. And Monticello does not help amp the energy here. Their offense barely knows how to break the huddle. They walk to the line of scrimmage. Oh, my God. Coaches that I played for.
Me too.
You could only imagine walking to the line. You'd walk right to the bench.
Good old AC used to really get on us for that one, walking to the line. He did not like that.
3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Deep ball thrown. Incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Jaron Rodriguez. It was intended downfield for Xavier Mitchell, and it'll be 4th down.
All right, listen. AC is a great guy, great coach. You know, he's doing great things now in the fall for the fall ball. But no disrespect, AC. You couldn't carry a stick compared to Dennis Simmons. God forbid Dennis caught you walking on a football field. Oh, I could still, to this day, God rest you, Dennis. Love you so much. And, yeah, to this day, I'm still scared of Coach. But in a good way.
You still hear that voice in the back of your head.
God.
Get moving.
So we used to, you know, one of the things that back in the day, we'd go to football camp up at the YMCA. And Dennis loved being up there. He just loved it because, you know, he's an Army guy. He's crazy. He was up like 3 o'clock in the morning just waiting to catch someone, you know, doing something stupid. We'll talk about that in a second. Not about doing something stupid, about what Coach used to say every morning to get us onto the football field.
4th and 9, and Monticello is just going to go ahead and go for it. Jackson's going to throw it with an empty backfield. Rolls to his left, near side, heaves it downfield, and Jaron tried to pick it off and once again couldn't do it. I think Jaron's had his hand on about 4 or 5 deep passes from Jackson and has not been able to pick one off just yet. It'll be a turnover on downs anyway. The Raiders will get the ball back with 2:25 to play here in the third quarter.
I mean, Kev, if you think about it, that was the smart play to do. I mean, it gives you the yardage.
Yes.
I mean, that interception, that takes him back about 20 yards.
That's correct.
And that's exactly what Jaron's going to say.
If I was Jaron, I'd be going to the sideline and say, I did that on purpose.
I knew what I was doing.
I knew exactly what I was doing.
Guys, I'm a high football IQ defensive back. You think that was an accident? I've been planning it for years.
He was in?
Dylan Fox has taken over at quarterback for the Raiders with 2:25 to go in the third quarter. He'll take a snap out of the shotgun, and he has a fresh backfield.
This is Bakari. Watch Sidney Bakari go.
Oh, boy, there he goes.
Yeah,
inside the 30, 25-20, and Sidney Bakari is wrapped up at about the 18-yard line. What a run by the sophomore, Sidney Bakari.
Wow, you want to talk about this. Sophomore to sophomore in the backfield. Fox to Bakari. Bakari with the big run off the left. And a big first down for the Raiders. And look at this. Hold against the Raiders.
Unbelievable. A lot of flags in this first game.
Yeah, Bakari, he originally was a JV player, got the call up recently, and boy, he took advantage of it there. But a little phantom hold on the inside of the line there. They're going to move the ball back. They'll spot it at, man, it's going to be a +10, -10 as the ball's going back to the line of scrimmage. So just to finish my thought on Coach Dennis Simmons, God rest, and I got a text from my buddy Andy Wachowski. Coach Simmons would have us on the field. You had to be on the field by 6:15, and he'd get on the bullhorn. Uppy, uppy, uppy. Port Jervis Raiders on the field in 15 minutes. And you would have to get your butt out of the camp out of the cabin and onto the field, and God forbid you were late. Oh, woe betide if you were late.
Awesome. Go ahead, Tommy.
Coach was just something special, and we miss him every day.
2:15 to play, third quarter, Port 42, Monticello 12. Also checking into the game for the first time tonight, Sean Mischuk and Cameron Barber. Fox will take the snap, and he'll give it to Bakari again. And Bakari is met. And
no, he kept it.
It's Dylan Fox. Dylan Fox fooled me badly.
He even tricked you, Kev.
And took it inside the 30-yard line. That was a brilliant,
that was a great read. That was a great read, too. To see those two linemen coming up, and it was like an Aaron Rodgers read right there. You didn't even know what he was doing.
12 good yards for Dylan Fox. He's a sophomore. Saw some action in the Section 9 championship game victory over New Paltz last year, and he is in the game now.
Come on, you knew he had the ball. Did you see how quick he ran? All right, trying to save you guys.
I appreciate it, but no, I bit hard on that one like the defense. Here's the handoff. This one goes on the ground. And it is a short run to the near side. I believe that was Elijah Campbell.
That's Isaac's little brother, the offense coordinator for Middletown, for Monticello.
Right.
That's Isaac's little brother.
So that's a little bit awkward. Little sibling rivalry inside the house. Elijah Campbell getting the carry for the Raiders. Gets about 9 on the carry. And it is second and short facing the Raiders inside of the red zone at the Monticello 18-yard line. Fox out of the shotgun. Bakari in the backfield with him. Trips to the far side. Snap is over Fox's head. This is dangerous. The ball's loose. It's on the ground. There's a scrum for it.
Looks like the Raiders have come up with it, and it's Fox.
Got it. And Dylan fought for it back. Clock will continue to roll. The ball will be back at the Monticello 34-yard line.
So Port Jervis may not get a play out here before this quarter ends. Clock's down to 26 seconds. Port Jervis up 42-12 over the Panthers of Monticello. And as Port subs in some of their players, sometimes the play gets a little more spirited in a different way.
Indeed. Campbell splits to the far side of the field where they have trips.
Let's see Fox air it out here.
10 seconds to play in the third quarter. Now Campbell goes in motion. Fox is going to keep it. Straight up the gut he goes to the 20-yard line. And Fox is wrestled down at the 18.
How about that?
Tough run by Dylan Fox to close out the third quarter. 12 minutes of football left. Don't go anywhere. The Raiders are in front 42-12, and we've got the final 12 after this on WDLC. It's all presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
Who you going to believe? The business who paid for this ad or the customers who paid for their product? Because this is what people say about Masters Pest Control.
I am so pleased with the service and support from Masters Pest Control. While it's too soon for my issue to be completely resolved, it has improved tremendously since they started servicing my property. I can't say enough good things about the staff and will definitely be recommending them to anyone who will listen.
Call Masters Pest Control today to receive quality service.
Look on the streets in your neighborhood. Everybody's driving their super vehicle. It's the Milford Chrysler Sales Pre-Owned Super Sales Event. Superhuman savings. Our very best deals at our lowest finance rates. Get up to 140% of book value for your trade. And we crush bad credits. We'll work to get you approved. Hurry to Milford Chrysler Sales today on Route 6 in Milford during the Pre-Owned Super Sales Event. Oh, and please drive. Don't fly. Black book value minus 20 cents per mile. Every condition with approved credit. Offer ends August 31st. See for details.
WDLC Port Jervis. It's Raiders football right here on WDLC Country.
All right, we head to the fourth quarter. Our fourth quarter is presented by Brace Landscaping tonight. And Port Jervis is in charge of this one, 42-12, so much so that they've gone to the seconds. Dylan Fox, the sophomore quarterback, has taken over for Logan Morris.
It's fourth down, Kev.
And it's fourth down. Sidney Bakari is in the backfield with Fox. Two receivers are split to the far side of the field and two to the near side.
Quite a formidable duo in the backfield.
And whistles, a flag, and a false start against the Raiders. So they'll go 5 yards back.
Monticello pinched in and showed a little bit of a blitz. And fellas, it is a beautiful night, just almost a quarter after 9. Here at Gwinnett Field, you talked to Coach, or you talked to Dr. Bell, talked about the upgrades coming here. He was talking about cutting a couple trees down, I heard.
Yes.
And I guess what? If he cut those trees down now, through the trees, you could see a beautiful fall, almost a fall moon upon us here at Gwinnett Field.
Oh,
the
man.
moon offset us on the visitor sideline. Spectacular view here at Gwinnett Field.
4th and about 6 for the Raiders. Fox rolling left. He's going to air it. No, he's going to tuck it himself. He's inside the 20-yard line down to about the 14, and that should be enough.
Boy, you want to talk about a smart play.
I was just going to say,
Dylan
Tom.
Fox rolls out. He puts that ball in a position where he's telling the defense, I'm going to throw it. We know he's not throwing it. He'd have to throw it off the back hip and everything. Tucks it in. Not only tucks it in, but knows where that first down marker is and goes out and gets it.
Wither Law out-of-town scoreboard updates. Want to say thanks to Jack George and Chris Conklin for providing our scores. Lords defeated Spack-and-Kill today 44-14. Warwick beat Binghamton 27-16. Here at Gwinnett Field, it's 42-12 Port Jervis, and another high snap over Fox's head. He picks it up. He steps up. He's still on his feet. Spins, fumbles, ball's loose, and Monticello's got it. So it was a high snap. Dylan did a great job recovering on the high snap, but then he got hit hard enough to jar the ball loose, and Monticello recovers with 11:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Just wrapping up our Wither Law out-of-town scoreboard. With 3 minutes left to play in Goshen, the Gladiators trail visiting Mahopac by a score of 31-10. And earlier today, Newburgh defeated New Rochelle 28-6.
Our JV Raiders will be over in Goshen tomorrow for a scrimmage. I think there's a 3 or 4 team scrimmage over there. So the future Raiders in action tomorrow, their first action. Wish them all the best of luck. Boy, you want to talk about facility? How about that Gladiator Stadium, huh?
Love it. The Coliseum, they call it. Very, very cool. We got to see Port beat Red Hook in the Section 9 championship there 2 years ago.
God, that was 2 years ago.
It was 2021.
Moments feel like yesterday, but
Yep.
at the same time, 100 years ago.
And then last year we went to O'Neill, to their new facility for
On
the Section 9
Veterans
title
Day.
game.
Remember?
Yes. The Class B championship game is, I believe it's there again this year in Highland Falls. 11:09 to play in the ball game. Fourth quarter presented by Brace Landscaping. Port Jervis in command here, 42-12. Monticello with the football going left to right, and they're going to keep it on the ground.
Fumble.
And the ball's loose again.
Knocked out by Maddox McCormick and recovered by Maddox McCormick. Great play.
Jeez. Well, I'll tell you what. You fumble the ball to your opponent up big, and then your defense comes and says, we'll grab it right back for you, fellas.
9 seconds of offense for Monticello on that drive as they fumble the ball back to Port Jervis. McCormick, you had that scoped out right from the start of the play. McCormick did a great job.
That is the way he read that play and saw it coming towards his side. So he let his man get a little bit into him just to shove him real quick and get that tackle.
Let's set the chains here before we can get this play off.
Fox out of the shotgun. He's going to give it on the ground. That goes to Sidney Bakari.
And guess what? Another flag on the play. I think our week 0 stripes need to know when the number 2s come out, the flags go away. I mean, you could call hold on every play. High school, college, pro, they do it in pros.
Exactly.
I can't watch that game. Forget about it.
So I got to say bit of an
a face mask against the defense.
Oh, is it
Sorry,
against
Kev.
Monticello? It's all right.
Oh, wow.
I misspoke when I gave my niece Jillian a shout out. I said she was heavily involved in Cortland cheerleading. She is the head coach of the Cortland cheer squad, Jillian.
It's a pretty responsible position.
Extremely, and she's has a very responsible position with the NCAA professional cheerleaders too. She's a professional cheerleader. We are extremely proud of Jillian and all that she's done. I know she's a role model for my daughter, Natalie. Here's a second. Check that, a first down play after the penalty. Fox will tuck it and run. He's got the first down and more. Cuts back.
Great cut.
Gets it to about the 15, maybe even closer than that. And a new first down, fresh set of downs for the Raiders.
Big shout out to a longtime youth football coach, Gary Spears. He happens to be a town supervisor in the town of Deer Park. How about this? He's listening in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Why is he in Carlisle? Not big car show. Nope. He's down there watching his grandson, Liam, play soccer. And he's getting ready. His other grandson, you might remember him, Nick Sorelli.
Sounds familiar.
Playing for RPI. They're at Dickinson tomorrow. So Gary Spears got a whole weekend of youth sports and college football to watch.
Gary.
That's encroachment.
Almost a full team encroachment. Another grandson of Gary's, Avery Spears, is a teammate of my son's and a friend of my son's. So he's got a lot of sports to watch. And, of course, you mentioned Nick Sorelli made his mark on this program.
Forever a coach in the old Pop Warner in Port Jervis. And growing up, playing for Gary, or I was lucky enough to coach some youth Little League softball with him, and just a true icon of youth sports in the community. Great guy.
Absolutely. High snap. They get it down. Bakari has it. Bakari finds a hole, and he scores. Sidney Bakari from about 8 yards out makes it 48-12.
Sophomore, Kev. He's a sophomore.
Yeah, and he looks good.
He looks good running that football, man.
Nice run, touchdown run by Sidney Bakari. This is where those kids get those reps, see, that we talked about. The juniors and seniors now got those reps when they were young. You get them ready, get them used to these bright lights at Gwinnett Field, and then when you need them down the road,
they're going to shine.
Here's Alexa Bennett on to try the extra point. She's been hit or miss tonight, but a lot of that. This one's a bullet through the uprights. No, it was a bullet to the right of the uprights. So it's no good. 48-12, Port's in front, 9:25 to play. And we're back in 30 seconds with more Raider football here on WDLC, presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
You got some projects planned for your house?
Oh, yeah.
You got time to do them? Yeah. You need to call Brace Landscaping. They do all kinds of landscaping and property maintenance, masonry work, fence installs, and more. This winter, they'll be offering snow removal, too. Don't put off those projects. Just hire a pro. Call Brace Landscaping, 845-253-4440. Find them on Facebook at Brace Landscaping.
You're listening to Port Jervis football only on WDLC Country.
48-12, Port Jervis leads Monticello. Their recent score, Bucky's Taxi Drive summary, showed the Raiders going downfield pretty quickly. It was Sidney Bakari, the sophomore, who scored from 8 yards out to cap that scoring drive. And you just heard from Brace Landscaping. Wanted to give a shout out to Jesse and Jamie and remind you that they're also doing paver patios, sidewalks. You can see some awesome pictures of the before and after, some of the work they've done on their Facebook page. We want to thank them for returning as a sponsor of Raider football. We are extremely blessed to have just an incredible amount of support from the local business community that comes back year in and year out to make Raider football on the radio a possibility.
This last few weeks, I've been all over the place, downtown, eating, having a good time, talking to people, and there is such an excitement about the football team this year. Everyone's so juiced and so pumped up. It's a great feeling.
Ensuing kickoff is going to be fielded at about the 31-yard line by Monticello. Short return as a crowd of Raider defenders wrap up the return man at the 36-yard line. Port Jervis will play Beacon next week here at home. Because of the way Class B is set up this year, there are 6 teams that qualify for the playoffs. And one of the negative impacts of that, just my personal opinion, is everybody then plays 7 regular season games instead of 8. 8's light already. You cut it back to 7. It's not a lot of regular season games. So you add the week 0 game, now you're back at 8. Port's got 8 games this year. 5 of them will be here at Gwinnett. The week 0 game, you kind of do what you need to do, and it ends up being here at home. You play 7 regular season games. It has to be on balance somewhere. And this year, all those scheduling breaks go in Port Jervis' favor.
Yes, road trips this year are going to be very favorable for the Raiders.
Liberty, New Paltz, and Neversink. Jackson to throw, got a man open, a great hit made, knocked his helmet off. The pass was intended for Xavion Mitchell. TJ Fergus was not having any of it.
Nope.
And he gives up a decent amount of size to Mitchell too. Didn't matter.
He was beat on that play. Because that ball was so high, he got the chance to make the play. But he got beat on that play. He got beat inside. But he got very lucky that was an overthrown ball.
Kev, back to the playoff scenario. Almost everyone in the Class B is making the playoffs.
Yeah, so 6 teams make it. The top teams in each division get a bye, and then your second and third place teams square off in a quarterfinal game.
I hate to be judgmental, but there's going to be some bad teams in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, if we're going to be honest, Class B has not been a deep, talented class. It's been top-heavy, and even the teams that have given Port some trouble during the regular season, Port's been able to, next time they have a chance at them in the playoffs, kind of have their way. New Paltz beat them last year, then Port just absolutely dominated them in the playoffs. Red Hook gave them a game during the regular season 2 years ago, and Port ran right over them in the section final.
Absolutely. Warm-ups on the sidelines right now, and I think it's very smart for the Raiders.
Ball's loose on the ground. Jackson picks it up, is able to get it out into the flat to Lisiaga, and he gets some room.
That's a fumble, too. That's a ball. That's Port ball.
And the Raiders recover another fumble.
Is that on the field? I mean,
it looked like it was right on the sideline.
I think they're going to mark it there, though, E. I think they're going to say he was down.
Down by contact, 3rd and 5.
Hunter Dean is into the game on the defensive line right now.
So on the sidelines, warm-ups taking place, and the reason I point this out, Dylan Carroll, the junior, he's warming up with his shotgun snap to Dylan Fox, so the two Dylans better be on the same page. We don't need to see that high snap anymore.
No more.
Tell you what, though, these kids on the shotgun snap, back in the olden days when the leather helmet guys like us played, shotgun snaps never happened.
Before shoulder pads.
Oh, ball's loose again. Jackson picks it up, recovers, is able to heave the ball into the air, and it's tipped away.
Great play right there by Elijah Campbell. He did not see that ball at all. All he did was look at that receiver's eyes. He saw those receiver's eyes start to widen, and then he jumped up. Didn't even need to make a play on the ball. He just jumped up, put his hands up. That was a beautiful play. Beautiful read of the wide receiver.
Into the game on the defensive line right now for Port Jervis. Kyle Olenek and Nashawn Campbell have checked in for Port Jervis.
How about that? Getting everybody in. Love it. Week 0, get these guys in.
Yep.
Nashawn, 6'3", 205.
That's a scary man.
And Olenek, 6'1", 258. So you got some big boys out there.
4th down for Monticello from their own 43-yard line. Jackson to throw. Over the middle. Incomplete. And they will throw the flag. Early contact for Port Jervis as Cameron Barber got there just a little too quickly.
It was a great read. Great read. He saw it going towards him, and it's just you got to wait till he touches the ball. And that's what sucks. You got to wait till he touches the ball.
Well,
it's the worst part. It's the worst
That
part.
is a guy who liked to play defense.
Oh, gosh. It's the worst part. I mean, look at him. He made a great play, and he gets penalized for it. It's terrible.
The other side of it is if you're going to make a penalty, make sure you don't give up the touchdown.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt if you're up 36.
Well, there's that, too.
All right, so they're going to move the ball to the Port 43-yard line. 1st down for Monticello. Not even halfway through the 4th quarter. Long first game for Port and Monticello.
I did get a text from someone just now, longest game ever.
60 points on the board between the two. Here's an incomplete pass down the far sideline intended.
And we know what that means. Incomplete pass. Should stop the clock.
Yeah, why not?
Hopefully.
Well, it's not.
Well, we're not going to look up there anymore then.
Nope.
Beautiful moon here tonight at Clement Field. Hey, I'll tell you what, rope line looked sharp. A lot of people on the rope line early on here tonight. Kevin, you'd mentioned it's red, white, and blue night, patriotic night. And how about all these kids that were here tonight? Great showing from the youth of Port Jervis.
I was extremely impressed by that. John Bell, we were talking off air about, he's like, it's a game before school starts, so it's not packed, but we're so impressed by the kids, the elementary school age kids, the middle school age kids who are out here rooting on this team. It's a true community event.
And that's sorry to cut you off, Kev, but that's what makes this team great in the long run. You have these kids coming and watching every single varsity game as like 7th graders. Like that's awesome. Learning the plays, learning it all. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, wow. What an athletic play for Tyrese Shaw.
That was Shaw on the catch.
That was a great play.
10 Panthers.
Yeah.
No, that was 11 Lisiaga.
Oh, it was Lisiaga. Okay.
Lisiaga.
Great catch over the middle. 1st down for Monticello at the Port 26-yard line. Nice effort there by Lisiaga on that play. 48-12 Raiders in front here. 5 minutes to play in the Brace Landscaping 4th quarter. Port will turn their attention to Class B competition next week. I believe it is a crossover with Beacon, not a league game. and then Middletown, Neversink, and then the league schedule starts.
For you, Ryan Ross on the sidelines, taking a big bag of ice, putting it up under his shoulder pads on his back. So,
I mean, you lower that shoulder enough, lay enough hit sticks, it gets a little sore, you know.
Here's Jackson out of the shotgun. McFadden in motion in front of him. Jackson's going to throw. Steps up into it. Heaves it deep down the far sideline. And it is caught in the end zone for a touchdown. Not without the benefit of a bit of a push-off. He saw it. The ref didn't. Elijah in the crowd
our bleacher refs heard it, saw it too.
Was that ball caught by Mitchell? Was that Xavier Mitchell on the touchdown catch?
Mitchell.
So that's a pretty decent touchdown pass from Jackson to Mitchell.
I mean, Port's given these receivers a 15-yard cushion every single play.
Push-off help, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, the 15-yard cushion gets the whole play started, you know? So Port needs to maybe bring their corners up a little bit and rely on their safeties a little bit more.
4:23 to play in the game, 48-18 after the touchdown pass from Jackson to Mitchell. The Panthers are going to go for 2. If you had the over, you're in good shape tonight. And this is incomplete on the 2-point try. The score will hold 48-18, 4:21 to play. We're back in 30 seconds with more Port Jervis High School football here on WDLC. It's all presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
Uh-oh, is it an allergy or a cold? There's only one way to know for sure. Port Jervis native Dr. Sarah Little of Little Pediatrics is here to help your child get back outside playing in no time. Parents need a pediatrician they know and trust. Little Pediatrics is open Monday through Saturday. To schedule an appointment, call 845-672-3995. Little Pediatrics, Orchard Street, Port Jervis. Don't forget to like Little Pediatrics on Facebook, too.
Let's get back to Port Jervis football right here on WDLC Country.
4:21 to play, fourth quarter, and it's been a really great night for the Raider faithful in attendance at Gwinnett Field. Port 48, Monticello 18. The Panthers, as we take a look at the Buc-ee's Taxi Drive summary, they did just score on a Seth Jackson touchdown pass to Xavier Mitchell. They went for 2. They did not convert, and so the lead is 30 for Port Jervis with the offense about to get back on the field.
Lots of great fans here tonight, Kev. Even our bleacher referees. These guys are always on top of things. But
they know. If I ever doubt myself, I just have to turn to them. They know what's going on.
You don't know the play call. You don't know the rules. You just stick your head out the press box. Someone will tell you. No, it's great. And this is what's so great. Ethan was talking about it. You know, Port Jervis high school football is awesome. You know, people talk about Texas, those big stadiums. It's got to be amazing, but at the same time, the friendly confines of Gwinnett Field and the families that are here, the generations of Raiders who come out every year to come watch. There are guys I know in the stands right now that don't have kids, grandkids on the team, but are here because they've been fans that long. And that means a lot to this community. So we're glad to be part of your night here listening to Raider football. And we're all glad to be part of the football program each in our own way. And I got to go back to E. We got to talk in a minute, E, about the olden days of football.
Here's a squib kick. That ball is loose. It's live, and it's picked up
by the quarterback.
Was that Fox? You got Dylan Fox out there on specials?
Yes, he is. Number 7.
It's something we've talked about a little bit, right? Because we talked about Ivan's injury. In high school football, you don't really have seconds for specials.
No, you don't.
You know, so these blowout games, it's a little tenuous every time there's a kick.
So a little while ago, E was talking, and I mentioned the old leather helmet football days, and he said something about not wearing shoulder pads. Well, I mean, us broad-shouldered older guys, maybe we look like we didn't need to wear them, but don't worry, we wore shoulder pads.
Yeah, like an inch of plastic on both shoulders.
Well, how about we got this guy out here, we're not even wearing sleeves.
Well, that's Dylan Fox, Well, his dad was out this morning getting a jersey, getting a T-shirt ready for the game. And we got a flag on this play.
Well, Fox is going to carry it.
That's a deep down the field.
Oh, ball's loose.
Ball
that ground
calls a fumble. Yeah. No way, kid.
Not a bad effort by
that flag came
Mitchell.
All the way from the back judge too. So that's got to be like a wide receiver hold or something. I don't.
Motion.
I didn't.
Illegal
see
motion. I didn't see it either.
That's motion, isn't it? Procedure motion, something like that. Oh, it's the defense.
It's a defense. Do they have 12 on the field?
It's a multiple choice. We actually need the bleacher referees
guys,
right now.
We can chime in here.
Yeah, right. The one time we need you guys are quiet.
I think they're all fired up about those mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, that got the crowd going. My daughter was very excited about the walking tacos. I'd like to get the report on those.
I like to get myself one of those.
You know, one of the things that the Met broadcasters do, once a year they go into the stands and they do the game. We might need to put a perch up on top of the concession stand and do it.
Yeah, I don't really want to be like the Mets. They stink.
Hey, easy now.
Well, I'll tell you, maybe we can work something out. John Bell's son works over at Bobcat Milford. Maybe we can get a lift out there. Get out there on the rope line on a lift maybe. Here's a handoff. Bakari, great move through the middle of the field to take it to midfield and a first down for the Raiders.
He knows how to move, man.
Quick.
Watching him run through that line.
Shades of Geffen Cawthon there with Sidney Bakari.
Quick feet, good footwork.
First down Raiders at midfield. 48-18, maybe looking for some more.
And that Bakari would love to get himself in the end zone for sure.
Dylan Fox is the quarterback. Sidney Bakari, the lone back. 3 receivers out for the Raiders. Sean Mischuk to the near side. Fox is going to tuck it and run to the near side. He crosses midfield, throws his shoulder into Xavion Mitchell, and gets 4 yards.
Well, I guess I offended some people on the radio. Sorry. For the offensive.
Is that about the no shoulder pads thing? Is that it? Are you still living on that?
That's about your stinky Mets.
Well, listen, yeah, both New York baseball teams definitely struggling this year, but being a good fan, always got to root for you.
Yankees are the kings of October, man. They got this.
I don't know if they're going to be playing in October.
Golf.
Can't be the king.
Oh, that's a false start.
No, it didn't get called. Sidney Bakari just got rung up behind the 50.
That false start, that's the reason why he got rung up, was because of the false start. That guard just pulled, and his man came in and made the tackle.
Yep.
Loss of 10, 3rd and 15.
So clock's going to tick down to 2 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. And, no surprises here, 48-14. Sometimes some of the plays here later in the game, maybe not highlight reel material, but nonetheless, our young men are out there playing hard, and we're here rooting them on.
Well, I have to me, this is a bit of a surprise on the Witherell Law. Yeah, there we go. Just everybody move. All right, everybody on 3.
That's the week 0, though. That's the week 0. That's stuff that takes time to learn. You got to learn, especially as the seconds, they got to learn their own cues and how fast Dylan says his cadence, because Dylan and Logan might say their cadence totally different. Logan might have a 5-second cadence. Dylan might have a 2-second cadence. So it's hard for these second guys and these younger guys. It's hard for them to really match it all up and make it all like the same and make it all make sense. So these kids, they hear so many different things at practice from Logan, and then they hear different things from practice again. Then they hear different things from Dylan at practice too. So it's very hard for these young guys to actually get understand.
So what I'd be curious to compare now, and Ethan, that was an awesome point. I appreciate you bringing that up, giving us an insight into the way the team works that you don't usually think about over the course of a 48-minute football game. Awesome stuff by E there. I'm wondering, what are we going to end up with more of it when we leave here tonight? Points on the board? We are at 66, or flags thrown.
Oof.
It has been a competition.
I think we're about 40 flags in right now.
It's a lot, man. There's been a lot of flags thrown tonight. Trips to the near side for the Raiders. Fox will hand it off to Bakari. Big hole on the right side, and Sidney squeezes through, gets it across the 40 to about the 43.
He's got some good second-level speed. Did you see, once he got to that second level, he made that cut, and he was cooking. He was moving.
Yeah, I think he doesn't get wrapped up there. It's probably a 30, 40-yard gain at least.
Yeah, that's a big gain if he doesn't get wrapped up.
Looks like Javian Williams from Monticello comes up a little bit banged up. These guys from Monticello, they don't have a deep bench, and their talent drops off real quick. Port Jervis is going to take a timeout, and that's a good timeout because, Monticello had a guy chipped up a little bit, didn't come off the field. Coach Straharski calls a timeout, going to give that Monticello player a little chance to catch his wind and get himself ready to go.
We'll take this opportunity to take another look at the Witherell Law out-of-town scoreboard. Just heard from the judge himself, the Honorable Craig Brown, the color commentator for our Delaware Valley High School football coverage on our sister station, Light 106.9. Delaware Valley shut out in their home opener tonight, 33-0 by Harrisburg. Now, of course, Harrisburg is a big 6A school. Delaware Valley dropped down to 5A. But that's a little surprising to me. The Warriors went down to Selinsgrove last week and gave the Seals a really good game, had a chance to win that game, and lost by a score. Tonight they just get ran roughshod over by Harrisburg. So they'll look to tighten things up. They're back on the road next week again, Downingtown East. Oh, really?
Yeah.
1?
Yep.
All right,
man.
Port's going to punt. This is the first punt tonight, and it's Carol Dolshin's punt.
And it takes a nice roll, nice Port Jervis roll inside the Monticello 35, down to the 33. 48-18 Port. We're inside of 30 seconds. The Raiders will win another home opener, another Week 0 game. They defeated Bronxville in overtime last year, defeated Cornwall in the spring 2021 Week 0 game, the first Week 0 game that our own Ethan McElroy was a part of.
We created the Week 0.
Oh, man. Good night for the Raiders on the football field. Good night in the stands. It's a great way to get the school year started, Tommy. Kids are back in school next week. This is a nice way to kind of get everybody back into the swing of things and everybody ready to, embrace everything about Port pride.
Good times and good cheer right now. Another good sign is that Anthony Theodore is on the bench on the sidelines, and he's giving some high fives out to some of his other players. So it looks like it more or less was maybe a Charlie horse or something, not something more serious with a ligament or a knee or anything like that.
I don't know, Tom. I mean, he has not left that spot on that bench.
Yeah, but if he was hurt any worse, they would probably have him get looked at, right, my friend?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm optimistic. First down now for Monticello.
Throw it into the flats. It's incomplete. That's happened to Monticello a lot tonight. I don't know how much of a difference it would have made, but their receivers have really struggled to catch the ball.
That's just about going to do things here. So they're going to call the 10 seconds left here in the game. And for the Raiders, happy night. We'll return back to Anthony Theodore. He does have a smile on his face, so that's a good thing. And, the trainer isn't over there, like, hovering over him and everything. So
I mean, I'd have a smile on my face if I went for 3 touchdowns today, too.
I don't blame you, man. But if you had a busted-up knee, man,
yeah.
Oof. So that's good news for the Raiders. And as Coach Straharski said midweek, he goes, you know what? We got a great football team as long as we can stay healthy.
It's a small roster. That's going to be a challenge. Another incomplete pass by Monticello. We'll stop the clock with 6 seconds left. Well, we have a lot of people to thank. Had a lot of good guests on the program tonight. John Bell, the superintendent of schools, joined us.
Yeah, it was great to talk.
Halftime.
Great to have Dr. Bell here. One of the good things about Dr. Bell is he doesn't have to prepare to come talk. He's part of our community. He knows the community. Talking about the transition in the school and the development of the new building here. Johnny just talks, he talks Port Jervis because he is Port Jervis.
Absolutely. Legacy name in Port Jervis. Contributions over the generations from the Bell family. 6 seconds to go, maybe the last play of the game, and they're going to keep it on the ground, Will Monticello. So they will eat the clock on the last play. It is a handoff to the near side. That one goes to Anthony Ortiz, and that is your ball game. 0-0 is on the clock, and it's a victory for Port Jervis in Week 0 to start the 2023 Port Jervis High School football season. 48-18 Raiders win. We will take a quick break and wrap up the game, wrap up the broadcast on our post-game show. Coming up next here on Country 95.3 and 107.7 WDLC. It's all made possible by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can support the small businesses that are dreaming big. Together, we can help families spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before. Learn more about M&T's commitment to the people, businesses, and community organizations we serve at mtb.com/togetherwecan or stop by any local M&T Bank branch. Member FDIC.
Hey, do you need a ride? Dial 845-856-3544 for Bucky's Taxi. They serve the entire tri-state area with local and long-distance taxi service. Now, whether you just need a ride to work or maybe your family needs a lift to the airport, Bucky's Taxi can get you where you need to go. Bucky's Taxi takes great pride in their transportation service. That's why they keep their cars clean and their drivers safe. The next time you need to be somewhere, call Bucky's Taxi, 845-856-3544.
Neversink Lumber. We're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore at Neversink Lumber, 95 Jersey Avenue, Port Jervis, or online at neversinklumber.net.
Who are you going to believe? The business who paid for this ad or the customers who paid for their product? Because this is what people say about Masters Pest Control.
We've been using Masters Pest Control for many years now, and we've always been very happy with the service. The techs are great, and since we normally have the same person come out each time, it's like seeing an old friend when they show up. We always recommend Masters to anybody we hear is having any sort of pest problem.
Call Masters Pest Control today to receive quality service.
Yard by yard, Raiders football is live on WDLC Country.
48-18 is your final. Raiders victorious over Monticello. Our player of the game is going to be Maddox McCormick. We're going to see if we can get him up here. Tommy, a good start to the season for the Raiders here.
Yeah, well, bad start to the game.
Yes.
As Monticello took the opening kickoff back and really kind of shook Port Jervis a little bit, shook off the cobwebs and reminded Port Jervis that, no game is a gimme. But Port Jervis definitely responded. The defense in the first half for Port Jervis was just spectacular, shutting down Monticello's offense, holding their offense on the ground to minus yards rushing, minus 40 yards rushing in the first half. And Monticello was only able to catch 4 or 5 passes in the first half, and that's where their offensive yards came from. But it was all Port Jervis defense, all Port Jervis offense, great special teams. And the last play that Port Jervis had possession of the football was the only punt of the night for the Raiders, and that was at 25 seconds left in the game. So if your only punt in the game is when there's 25 seconds left in the game, you must be doing something right. And clearly, for week 0, Port Jervis did everything right.
It was a good night for the Raiders. They spread the ball around. They ran it. Logan Morris threw it. Anthony Theodore was spectacular. He's actually part of our player of the game combo along with Maddox, but we're, typically we ask the kids to come up to the press box and do an interview, but we're not going to make Anthony come up here because he did appear to hurt his leg at one point during the game. But I have him down, Tommy, for 2 touchdowns, or was it 3? Am I missing one that Anthony scored? I got him down for
got him 2 in the first
2.
half,
yeah,
and then he scored the one in the opening kickoff.
That's
so
right.
The
3
third
touchdowns for Anthony Theodore tonight, and a great start to the season. Raiders have to be encouraged. Coaches have to be encouraged. We mentioned all the little mistakes, the stupid penalties, concentration penalties, things like that. That stuff will work itself out in time. That stuff you can kind of chalk up to the week 0, and they haven't been practicing a lot. So they have a lot of kinks to work out. But the overall effort, the mental part of the game, the Raiders seemed pretty sharp. And, of course, the physical part, they were just absolute beasts tonight.
Well, physical part, we're going to get Maddox McCormick up here and talk to him. This kid, let me tell you something. Just a junior, this kid is all football. He is a big, strong dude. He likes to play both sides of the ball. Finesse on the offense with power and speed and strength. And on defense, just absolute tenacity.
While we wait for Maddox, we'll bring you a Witherell Law out-of-town scoreboard. Here's the finals that we know about, and we want to thank Jack George, Chris Conklin for providing us some of these updates. Warwick defeated Binghamton tonight, 27-16 at home. Our Lady of Lourdes took care of Spackenkill, 44-14. Newburgh defeated New Rochelle 28-8. Last we heard in the Goshen game, the Gladiators trailed Mahopac 31-10. In Pennsylvania tonight, Delaware Valley played their home opener and got shut out 33-0. There was also a game in In Dutchess County tonight, FDR traveling across the river to take on John Jay. Actually, FDR's already on that side of the river. I don't know why I said that. But tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff for Cornwall up in the Capital Region against Colony. And then we have 5 1 o'clock games. Liberty at Highland, Marlborough at Saugerties, Red Hook at Beacon, Monroe Woodbury hosting Section 1's North Rockland, Kingston on the road at Cardinal Spellman. 2 o'clock, Washingtonville visits Poughkeepsie. 5 o'clock, O'Neill, the defending New York State Class C football champions. They're on the road against Ravenna Coyman Selkirk, a team that's in Class B that Port Jervis had been hoping to see a couple of years ago. Got to the state semifinals, I believe, 2 years in a row. And then you have New Paltz and Wallkill tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And Sunday at Harriet Space Park in Port Jervis, it'll be opening day for the Port Jervis Youth Football League. Mighty Mites at 9:30, D1 at 11, D2 at 1. We'll all be there.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a great day. Opening day. They'll have their opening ceremonies. Big day for the kiddos. A lot of them were here in attendance. The cheerleaders, the football players were in their uniforms. Families are stoked. It's going to be a really great day on Sunday at Harriet Space Park.
You know, you mentioned it, and we talked about it twice, 3 times in the broadcast. How many kids here tonight was awesome. It was so great to see them, and we're going to see them all on Sunday, both playing football and cheering. And those that aren't either cheering or playing football will be in the stands and having a good time out at Harriet Space Park. Truly a field of dreams out there.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome out there. They've done such a great job making that a good football facility.
Kev, I know you're going to jump in and you're going to talk about all the great sponsors we have. I got to cut you off real quick, and I just want to throw a big thank you out there. He's been here year in and year out, and that's our favorite double nickels. Matt Witherow, that guy always comes up big for the community, always comes up big for the Raiders in football.
Absolutely. Our out-of-town scoreboard sponsor for forever. Yeah.
Out-of-town scoreboard, but our hometown pal.
Absolutely. Well played. Well said, Tommy. We love Matt.
World-class guy, and I know how proud he is of that double nickels.
He is, and Dorian Belize has made it look pretty good tonight, too, in the middle of that defensive line. We want to thank the other businesses who have stepped up this season to make Raider football on the radio a possibility. They include Bucky's Taxi, Milford Chrysler, Dodge Jeep and Ram, Brace Landscaping, Neversink Lumber. We welcome aboard this year M&T Bank. Also, attorneys David Bavoso and Glenn Plotsky, Masters Pest Control, Little Pediatrics. We heard from Dr. Little tonight. Gray Parker Funeral Home. And the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County, our title sponsor, presenting Raider football all season long. Want to thank the 5 captains who spent time with Tom this week at practice. We heard from Logan Morris. We heard from Ivan Figueroa, Ryan Ross. We started to hear from Jaron, and hopefully we'll get a chance to bring you that interview with Chris Hicks at another time. Celebration going on the field right now, as the Raiders are victorious 48-18 over Monticello. I don't know, Tommy. I don't know if Maddox, I don't think we might not see him.
This week 0, everything can go right, everything can go wrong, and it's all okay. It's week 0. A big win for the Raiders tonight. Maddox is down on the field with so many of his players and teammates. And this is the part about Gwinnett Field that really is great. You got a whole bunch of family who are always behind the rope line. But at the end of the game, the rope line comes down a little bit. Some of the family members get onto the track. And it's so great to see high fives and handshakes and moms and dads, aunts, uncles, grandmas, and grandpas there. And celebrating the victory for the Raiders. And it was a great night tonight. Great to see all these players. I know we sent E down there to try to get Maddox. And I think Maddox is going to try to get his way up here. By the way, one last thing. We had Dr. Bell here at halftime. Dr. Bell sent me a text in the third quarter. And he said while he was here at the field, we're talking about Gary Spears and some others, he said that in the crowd tonight here in Port Jervis was the legendary Pop Warner coach Mel Decker. Now, I know Mr. Decker. He is not a young man. He is in his late 80s. He coached the Bears, Pop Warner Bears, for 2 decades in the 70s and the 80s.
Wow.
And he was here tonight at Gwinnett Field, so it's great to have him here tonight. I reminded Dr. Bell that today, of course, is Ed and Lou Bannock Day, celebrated September 1st, 1984, when they won gold medals in the Summer Olympics for USA. He said, get this, Dr. Bell, 1984, a little road check for you. That was Dr. Bell's senior year at Port Jervis High School. Ed and Lou came up to football camp, and they talked to the team on the Friday that they broke camp, and you can imagine how that talk went. And that was the night before they had the big parade here in town for Ed and Lou Bannock. So you want to talk about Dr. Bell being connected to our community. He talked about it at halftime so much that he knows, but also how many people come out. You got a guy who's almost 90 years old in the stands tonight watching some Port Jervis High School football.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
It's generational here. It's just different here. It's a community that loves football here in Port Jervis. Want to say a special thank you as well to Gavin Burt, the wizard back in our studio, Zach Smith, who engineered our broadcast tonight.
And look at this. He has delivered.
Yes, he has. Here comes Maddox McCormick. Want to send a shout-out to our brothers in broadcasting, Jake Graziano and Craig Brown and Clark Eaton, who were over at the DV game tonight. Rough night for the Warriors. We've got Maddox McCormick joining us now. Maddox, congratulations, buddy. Nice job tonight. Going to give you this. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Take Tom's headset there. E, I'll give you yours. You may have some questions for Maddox. So, I'm sure you could imagine what we might want to ask you first, Maddox. First play of the game, kickoff return by the opponent.
Yeah.
What is that feeling like on the sideline? Are you shocked? Are you like?
It didn't feel real. It was just stupid mistakes that we should have ironed out. Stupid mistakes that killed us all night, and that was obvious.
What do you guys say to each other to get it turned around? Because it seemed like you guys were able to put it behind you pretty quickly.
Some teammates tend to go a little crazy, but you just got to calm down and simply just tell them to fix it.
Okay. What were you most impressed by with the team's effort tonight? A lot of things on the field went well. Ton of penalties. What, as far as what you were looking to do out here, what were you most impressed by that the team did?
I think the D-line did a good job. Not just me, but the entire D-line. Secondary, few mistakes, but with the true starters, pretty good. Offense, it was all there, just a rough time putting it together tonight.
Okay. We talked a lot over the course of the game about, like, the physicality that you guys have. The roster's a little bit smaller this year, but the guys who are here are experienced for the most part, and you guys are super physical. Is that something that's conscious? Is that something you guys talk about, or is it just a byproduct of what you do in the offseason?
Yeah, for sure. That's something we talk about because we know we're short-numbered this year, and we're lacking on numbers, so we have to pick it up with that.
You kind of made your mark from our perspective as a defender. Tonight you catch a touchdown pass. You get involved in the offense more. How excited are you about that?
A lot. I've always loved offense a little more than defense, but I don't know. Definitely excited about it.
Did you have to sell it a little bit more, or did the coaches offer you the opportunity? How did it come
me and Salata have been talking about it for months, basically since last season ended. Right after that Pleasantville game, we've been talking about it for a while.
All right. How's the knee?
Good. My brace that I've been wearing for years now broke at practice.
Really?
On Tuesday. So picked something up and fought through. Got them both taped up.
Is that something that's like creates a mental situation where you have to like get used to playing without it?
I mean, I thought it would be like that, but it was actually pretty easy to let go of it and just move on, focus on the game.
All right, cool. What does a game like this do for the team's confidence, moving forward?
Well, we knew coming into this we were superior to them. We could definitely do a lot better. A lot better. We got to clean a lot of stuff up. We should have beat them by a lot more than that.
All right. What's a typical post-game celebration like for you guys? You guys go out to eat? What do you guys do?
I think I'm going to go home and go to bed.
You got anything?
Yeah. So I remember when we played, we had a week 0, and it was one of those games where it was like, we don't really want to play it because it's the beginning of this. It's before the season actually starts, before the actual games that matter start. How did you guys feel about that? Did you guys have that same mindset where it was like, we don't know if we really want to play this game because it might affect us in the later run? Or was it just like, you know what, we want to play football?
No, we take this as serious as any other game, for sure. It's just where we iron out the mistakes. I'm very thankful for having a week 0. Yeah,
it's like a scrimmage day almost. Kind of one of the. Just
I wouldn't say
iron it all out.
We take it just like a game, but
good.
Usually, week 0. This is the most points we put on the board in the last 5 years in a week 0, so that's good. But should have been a lot more.
All right, Maddox. Thanks for giving us some of your time, buddy.
No problem.
Congratulations. Nice effort tonight.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely. That's Maddox McCormick joining us here on the post-game show. Final score, Port Jervis 48, Monticello 18. Raiders win big on opening night, and that's going to do it for us. E, thank you for getting Maddox up here on the beacon.
The big man said he's on his way up right now, too.
Oh, did he?
Yes. He said he had to use the restroom, and then he would be on his way up.
Well, that is full disclosure if I've ever heard it.
I don't know where he is, but he said he had to use the restroom, and then he would be back.
Okay. Are we talking about the same big man here? Are we talking about the head coach?
Yeah, as Coach Staharski. Yes, sir.
All right.
I think he's called it a night.
Has he?
Yeah, he might have.
Put a lid on it.
Yeah,
okay. That's all right. I have a feeling we might be talking to him a few more times this year. 5 out of 8 games here at home at Gwinnett Field. That's going to do it for us. 48-18, the Raiders win. Thank you to everybody who was involved tonight in our broadcast, and thank you for listening. For Tom Faggione and Ethan McElroy, I'm Kevin Halpenny saying so long. Raiders win Week 0. Start the season off with a victory. We'll see you next Friday night. Here at home against Beacon, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Our coverage starts at 6:30 right here on Country 95.3 and 107.7 WDLC. It's all presented by the Alcohol and Drug Awareness Council of Orange County.